Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off on Black Ink and Blue Blood, the party arrived at the Sundragon desert oasis city of Chilblains, which was currently undergoing an Adama plague epidemic courtesy of a Strix population that had been chased into the desert by Tropubikok's deforestation to fuel his massive narcissistic airship. As a result, the population is getting incredibly sick and simply does not have the infrastructure to treat this. But as bad as things got for Chilblains, they're about to get worse. The party agreed to help curb the infestation and treat the infected, including the city's lord, Ephemeral, a former pirate, friend of Sundragon's turned politician.
A total creep.
But as the party were locking up for the night, the militia stationed outside came under attack by the Strix population. On its own, not ideal, but certainly handleable. Strixes are mostly dangerous for their numbers or to the unsuspecting. An army of trained an army of trained militiamen with a Prince Tebedra and Colonel Yeoger leading them were able to overcome the swarm with little difficulty, especially once Caro arrived to reinforce them from the walls. However, the Strix Thirst managed to get a solid gulp of Whatshis' blood before falling, and one by one are turning into Ichor beasts and preparing to lay waste to the militia camp and besiege Chilblains, acting on feral, ravenous instinct to consume, to spread, to patch the emptiness they're feeling in their soul with blood and destruction. Meanwhile, in the depths of Chilblains, aboard a patchwork and humble houseboat, Tuco Slitherite, Lucian Alefakir, and Caleb Tebedra have just finished mopping up the last of the mess. And that is where we will pick up. Let me swap the
I'm
music.
gonna look around and see if anybody needs healing. I'll just look around. Does anybody need healing? I can make you feel better.
One of the sailors, you recognize him as the mutton-chopped man who had escorted you into the house and recommended you lock up. A blunderbuss slung over their shoulder and kind of nervously watching the skies. Thanks, lass. For now, our blood's all where it belongs in our bodies. And you see a few people are nursing bites, which you are concerned may get infected, but otherwise, this part of the city seems to have evaded the worst of it.
Then I'm gonna turn into Aggie and do you think that we should go check on your troops?
Real quick before she responds, Caleb, are you doing anything?
He was going to do the same thing.
Okay. And it does. I'm not sure if Tuco is good to go yet, so we'll circle back around. As Tuco regathers their chemicals and kind of joins the houseboat. Oh, there you are. You said you weren't ready yet earlier, so we just gotten through the intro. It's after the battle, and I was asking to see what you guys are doing. Caleb and Lucian are checking on the queen and the wounded.
Oh wait, the battle's over?
Wow.
Yeah, you. Well, the part one anyway. The one on the houseboat. But yeah, so Caleb and Lucian are checking on the wounded and the queen. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Matthew, you are breaking up a bunch.
Oh, okay. Your internet's being a dingle.
Babe, it ain't us, it's you. You're like,
I guess, yeah, he's getting ready to try and do like trying to see his stock for what he's about to do, which is the fireball.
All right. So as Tuco goes over their chemicals and powders, Caleb, you, and Lucian approach the Queen Sundragon, who's currently kind of crouched almost ferally, her hair still like whirling and blazing in an unseen wind, and her eyes gleaming ruby red. And as she kind of crouches over a literal pile of burnt Strix bodies, Lucian, as you approach her with Caleb behind you, Caleb, since you had approached first, you get a little bit closer to her, and you can see she's just staring at the pile and just and you see one of the you see one of the Strix's leg twitch, and she immediately just jabs her tri-forked blades into it with a yell, and then immediately just pulls back and she turns to the two of you with this like wild, feral look in her eyes. And is there any more?
We're not sure. Let's go check the troops. Yeah.
You can see she kind of pauses briefly and like looks a little confused, and you see her red eyes turn back to Lilac. And
I'm gonna just point in the general direction of the troops. That way.
She kind of looks in the direction you're pointing, looks around, almost like she's just seeing the battlefield for the first time, and you can hear her just start mumbling to herself, just, oh gods, oh gods, oh gods, oh gods, oh gods, and immediately just hauls ass to the front gates.
I'm gonna turn around to go.
I'm just gonna follow the queen out.
All right.
I'm gonna look at Caleb and just give like the look on her face is like she's not sure how to process what just happened in front of her.
Caleb doesn't seem to be too disturbed by it. He's seen barbarians rage before.
Mm-hmm.
I think their skill.
So Caleb, you haul over the side of the houseboat and start running after the queen, rifle in hand. And Lucian, you turn to Tuco, who is putting some powders and chemicals together.
I'll just kind of say to Tuco, I think we're going to go check on the troops. You're welcome to come. I think everybody here is okay.
Yeah, all right. He kind of like, again, just making sure he's got everything before he looks at you with a nod, like with a very grim expression. Let's go.
Alright, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go catch up and make sure that Agnes doesn't do something stupid.
All right. Anything noteworthy from the three of you as you're following the queen to the walls?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I am sprinting to try to catch up to her.
Caleb's pretty quick because he can do that bonus action dash.
Mm-hmm. Caleb, with you behind the queen, Lucian behind you, and Tuco behind you, the three of you behind the queen just start booking it across Chillblains. You can see a few people actually like curiously peek out their windows and doors to see just what all the hubbub is about, especially after all that chaos of the earlier battle. But sure enough, the three of you, as you're about halfway across the city and sprinting, can hear distant shouts and screams, and can see the like almost cloud of bird creatures circling the militia camp. And you can see Lucian, Caleb, and Tuco. You can see the queen's looking ahead of you, so you can't see her face, but you see her hair immediately just start waving again like fire, and her speed almost doubles as she almost like dust clouds the rest of you as she sprints to get to the battle as quickly as possible. Whether it's
She's so cool.
Whether it's just bloodlust at knowing there's other things that need to be killed or protectiveness over her troops and people, you don't know. And she's certainly not in a state to communicate it.
Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keto. On top of the walls, as the riflemen are fending off the last of the Strixes that challenge them, all attention and significant confusion and concern has been directed at the battlefield before you. Caro, you have just enough time to process the queen arrive, and you can see Tuco, Caleb, and Lucian sprinting behind her in the distance, although they have been left a bit behind.
I was going to know that Caleb was going to stay at range.
No, yeah, of course. Like, you need to get like on the walls and then decide whether you're going to go over them anyway. Conveniently, it's a lot of our ranged fighters that stayed on the houseboat, so you guys can just chill on the walls and snipe for the most part. Anyway.
I mean, technically, Caleb's supposed to be a melee fighter, but...
You mean a melee fighter?
He was originally only had melee weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Caro, you can see Whatshis and Zephyr surrounded by scared, wounded, and confused militiamen as these puddles of ichor begin to bubble and roil. And you may not have been with the party as long as some of them, but you know what this is, and you know what's coming.
I was like, you see a mayonnaised invisible Whatshis.
Yeah, true. You see Whatshis' outline of mayonnaise. And you watch as this long spire of ichor shoots out of each puddle like a sword piercing the sky. And Zephyr, you and Caro watch as the rest of you run to get to the walls as these humanoid shapes start to crawl out of the puddles, but there's something wrong with them. Caro, you can see they have Whatshis' muscular physique, his flowing hair, his elven ears, but rather than Whatshis' kind of rounded nose, you can see they have a long, pointed proboscis for a nose. And Zephyr, being a bit closer to them, you see it's no ordinary proboscis. Whatshis' Inquisition lance has been fused to his face to act as a new mouth for this hideous beast.
It's horrifying.
And as they pull their right arms free from the ichor and hold it up in the air as it begins to solidify and take solid shape, you can see each finger is a completely new weapon. You can see the pointer finger and the thumb are the mechanisms of their suppressor pistols. You can see their middle fingers taking on the curve of their vicious glaive. Their other fingers taking on just bladed and club-like forms. And their left arm curves into the shape of an anchor. And finally, with a hideous fleshy slurp, a pair of bird wings sprouts from the creature's shoulders. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Strix ichor beasts are born. I would like everyone to roll for initiative.
Which one is that?
D20, and for you, you're going to add... I'm pulling your character sheet up, sorry. You add a +3 to whatever you roll in the D20.
Initiative, I get advantage on that because of my sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same deal as usual. I'll call 25 to 20 and just, again, avoid having numbers shouted at me. All right. While you guys are rolling, I'll go ahead and... What's that?
Rolling initiative.
Rolling initiative.
It's like a...
Okay, initiative.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, a monster was revealed to deal with all his weapons. Well,
yeah, basically the ichor beasts are Gil, but his weapons are literally fused to his body, and the Inquisition lance is the new proboscis for the Strixes.
Ooh.
You know, it's funny. The Whatstrix gets advantage to initiative, but I actually literally can't roll better than that. So,
Of course.
Woo! So +3 to whatever we roll?
so yeah.
Count numbers, wait for him to add.
Yeah. Basically, I'm going to be like 25 to 20, 20 to 15, and if your number's in that, then you say it, so that way I can add everyone in order without everyone just screaming numbers. 25 to 20.
Here.
All right.
20.
Here.
Tuco, Lucian, what the two of you get? Just so I can have everyone in order.
23.
All right.
I got a 20.
All right, so Tuco, Lucian, and Carol will be going together. 20 to 15?
18.
15 to 10? 10 to 5? Sorry, man.
That's fine.
I guess you're gonna have to roll for Whatshis.
Yeah, I got it.
And Whatshis gets eaten alive.
Yeah, your character's not here. They are now dead.
God, that would suck if that's how the dice landed.
All right.
Nat 1, baby.
13, 14. Okay. They'll be going between the Tebadrons. Okay. Also, I have a battle map. So anyone who uses the Roll20, feel free to shift yourself.
I feel like it's been years since we've had a battle.
Yeah, you guys haven't had a battle map for this campaign since fucking Edict. I mean, this is mostly roleplay.
I know what that is.
It's... Here, I'm gonna stream it.
Yeah, Austin will stream it so you can watch on his end. I've used Tuco's art so you can see where you are relative to everyone else.
Where?
It's on Discord.
All right.
5.
Zephyr, feel free to position yourself wherever you think you would be. I already know where Whatshis is, so just position yourself where you feel comfortable.
Why is there one on the wall?
Because Caro shot them down as they were flying away.
Where am I looking?
Austin is streaming the battle map, so you can, on Discord, just watch his stream and it'll show you...
Any indication of where Sundragon is or any other soldiers are?
She's going to be like going up that stair onto the walls. The NPCs I've already rolled for behind the scenes, so their battle's going to get resolved like essentially in the background while you guys fight yours.
So we're only fighting.
Well, what other battle is there?
Well,
Bear in mind, there's 10 of these things,
Yeah, but I see
so
5
the
here.
militia and Sundragon are taking half of their attention off of you. Bear in mind, D&D, like, in terms of sheer numbers, considered this the only way that the fight would even be feasibly fair. On that charming note, the Strixes are up first.
I love the shit split stains.
Yeah, I wanted it to be the blood of the Ichor, but there wasn't any black, so I just had to use brown. All right.
He shitted and farted.
You could put a white splotch where Whatshis is for the mayonnaise.
Honestly, genuinely, I wish I had thought of it. I completely forgot about it while I was working on the map. All right. You guys watch as the Strixes take shape. One arm a hanging heavy anchor, the other just a Swiss Army blade of weapons, the Inquisition lance emerging like a disfigured demonic Pinocchio as the Strixes kind of take in their new life, their new form, and they only know one thing, and that is hunger. The first Strix is going to immediately turn on its father, and it's hungry. They are going to use the dredge anchor to pull Whatshis towards them. And Whatshis manages to succeed the save, but it still charges forward and is going to start engaging Whatshis. However, I will resolve other turns first since Whatshis is not here yet. Zephyr, as the various Ichor beasts take shape and begin to solidify, you can see one of them, one of the furthest from the walls, as the militia immediately just grabs axes and tomahawks and gets ready to engage the new, much more dangerous enemy. You watch as one of the Strixes turns their head towards you, and it begins to slurp and slosh its way towards you, almost more liquid than a solid, and manages to gasp out in this rattling hiss. Zephyr!
Okay, before we do anything, I need to tell you, Jeremy is going to be about 20 more minutes.
I mean, that's fine.
The person that he drove with is like wasting his time right now.
Blah.
So I was gonna go ahead and roll for him.
Okay.
I have to negotiate all that, but I'm surprised I'm this close still.
Well, I mean, like I said, you can move yourself wherever. You just hadn't moved yourself yet.
How?
No. Like you got Zephyr can because he was on the battlefield already. So since we didn't have a battle map for the last one, I'm letting him kind of figure out where he wants to be relative to the monsters. You guys are all coming in from the same direction, so you guys are going to start from like the same area.
What kind of range does that blast I was talking about earlier have? How many?
You can do it. You can do it anywhere within 60 feet, which this is easily well within.
Okay.
So basically, once you get on the walls, so you can see everything, you can literally put it anywhere on the field that you want.
Okay. When is my turn?
Your turn is going to come. The Whatshis have to go, and then you go after them. So go ahead and start figuring out what you want to do now, and then once the monsters have gone, you'll be up. Okay. But yeah, so Zephyr, move yourself wherever you want to be, so I can get through the monster's turn.
Oh, I'm trying to do this.
Also, Amanda, whenever it's not your turn, can you mute your dog as Barky?
Trying to get there.
I thought you were gonna say, "Can you mute your dog?"
Yeah, just like you hear like just a single gunshot go off, and then just
Hold on.
Sorry, he was barking at the dog across.
All right. For now, while you're figuring that your situation out, Zephyr, Keto, the one nearest to you, that literally is spawning on the walls,
you
kind of cracks its neck to look at you, and it's going to rage.
Oh, they have rage.
Well, yeah, they're barbarians.
Yep.
They have Gil's abilities.
We all just appreciate how this all started because Gil was a dumb fuck who wanted to go challenge them.
Oh no.
And let's take a moment to appreciate something real quick before we continue the battle. I just want to point out as a funny observation that this is Whatshis sabotaging less than his original plan. His original plan would have had the entire nest drain him dry, possibly to his death, and then they would have all spawned.
Would have just been the end of Yav, I think.
Yeah, or at the very least, certainly the end of Chillblains. There's no way they were going to be able to fight off that many Strixes. Anyway.
It's probably going to be... I mean, it could still very well be the end of the campaign as well.
True.
I mean, as in, the campaign against barbers.
Anyway. The Strix is going to use the Vicious Glaive on Caro. And they're going to make this a reckless attack.
They need to be within 5 feet.
Nope. Vicious Glaive has a range of 10.
Yeah. Some weapons have reach.
Well, that's
Does
not
it?
good.
Does a 17 hit, Caro?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and
barely, though.
All right, I'll go ahead and roll the second attack while I'm at it.
Beat?
Yeah, meat beats.
And I would have gotten Caleb, too.
And they're going to try and jab you with the Inquisition Lance.
Oh no, they're going to suck your blood and make themselves even worse.
Well, Caro's not an Ichor beast.
Yeah.
They're gonna suck you.
Alright, and the Inquisition Lance
Isn't
hits.
it made of Ichor?
The creature itself is, yes.
Needs to draw Ichor blood.
No, I mean, wouldn't the proboscis that would be stabbing into Caro's bloodstream be made of Ichor?
That's actually been discussed before. Unless Caro dies shortly after the injection, the Ichor will likely just pass through her body, harmlessly. But yes, that is a valid concern. That being said, both attacks hit. So, Caro, you take first from the Vicious Glaive. Let me grab my D10. Is that right? Yeah.
I don't know, I'm still trying to do. I've been trying to get him off the. I've been trying to get him off the map. this entire time.
Well, why didn't you just say I'm off the map?
I don't know. It was just I know he was like 90 feet away, or yeah, he was like 90 feet away from like.
So yeah, we'll just say you're off the map. Also, Caro, from the Vicious Glaive, you take 9 slashing damage, and from the Inquisition Lance,
There's literally no part of this map that's 90 feet away.
Well, on this map at least.
you take 6 piercing damage, and having to use like every dice at my disposal for this.
Yeah, we're gonna need to like focus fire.
And 14 necrotic damage.
There you go, 90 feet.
However, that is the end of that Whatstrix's turn. Yeah, there's not much else they can do noteworthily. So Zephyr, you comfortable where you are?
Funny enough, you haven't even reached. Yeah, I'll be like over here somewhere.
Okay,
Well,
and
within 5 feet of someone.
and what's the distance off the map that you are?
Off the map?
Or is that just where you are?
I snap the center. I would say about like maybe like roughly.
You're 90 feet away, right?
Yeah, I'm roughly like 90 feet.
So you'd be 40 additional feet. Okay.
Uh,
So that's 90 feet away. Can they reach you? Okay. The Whatstrix takes flight. You all watch as this hideous, muscular Whatsis takes to the sky, and Zephyr, as you're running with your fucking piston boots, you can see its like shadowy form dripping ink dive through the air with way too much grace for something that's ostensibly sharing a soul with Whatsis. And as it flies towards you with its 80 feet of flight speed, it whirls the dredge anchor over its head and throws it at you. Make me a strength save.
It's a good thing I suck at strength.
Well, even Zephyr couldn't get far enough away.
Well, I mean, I could. I just choose. I would have to go quite a bit. I got a 9.
All right. The dredge anchor hooks around you, and you feel this like twist in your stomach as you're yanked towards the Whatstrix, which immediately you notice its mouth begins to glow, and it's going to do an ionic bite.
An ionic bite.
The axes have taken the form of the Whatstrix's teeth.
Oh no.
Does a 29 hit?
Yes.
And genuine question this time, does a 16 hit?
No.
Okay, so first one hits, second one misses. Zephyr, you take 10 slashing damage as its plasma teeth sink into the flesh of your shoulder, and immediately pitch black blood begins rising to the surface and like insta-cauterizing, giving you this almost like inky black shoulder plate of sorts.
Well, I'm gonna do reaction. Uncanny dodge.
All right, so you'll take 5. The remaining 2, not having an immediately obvious target, just start like World War Z style clambering towards the walls. And Tuco, Lucian, and Caleb, as you're rushing to the scene, and Sundragon's like sprinting up the wall so quickly you're worried she's going to trip and bust her skull, you can hear... Tuco, you've never heard an Ichor beast before. So you just hear chaos and panic from the militia camp, but you can't see what's going on. But from over the walls, you see the walls literally crack and shake as the two Whatstrixes begin banging their dredge anchors against the stone in a brute force attempt to break it down. And Tuco, you can just make out, "Let us in!"
Tuco's, like, his ears would actually fall flat a little bit, and he's like, oh, what the shit? Before, with,
Oh, go on.
No, go on.
No, you first.
I was gonna say, he'd yell to, I can't tell who the little tiger is.
That's Garo, which is Caro's pet tiger.
Alright, he'd yell to Caro to, like, he'd yell, like, get out of the way! As he proceeds to dig in and gets ready to unleash the only thing he can think of that could realistically neutralize the situation.
Noted. All right, your turn's coming up. Just one last thing to be resolved on the Whatstrixes. Caro, Zephyr, as the two players here who are able to see the ones on the walls, you watch as the ones that are banging their anchors against the wall, they both suddenly kind of stop and look to each other, and in this terrifying moment, as if they actually understand each other, they both plunge inky hands into their stomachs and pull candies free from their chests.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Candy!
Truly is. Gil.
And in this horrifying display of friendship between these hideous monsters, they pop the candies into each other's mouths.
Disgusting.
Now they each have to roll a D100.
Yep, both of them are going to take a bite from the bag of many candies.
How the fuck do they even get that?
Well, no, they all. It's like a weird. They all get a copy of the person's.
Like, I get it, like copying their anatomy, but what? Copying their inventory?
Also, yeah, they copy their equipment as well for some reason.
Well, yeah, nobody knows how the Ichor works yet, so nobody knows like what goes into it.
I'm assuming it's memory based. That's why I was like, maybe they might have the gauntlets.
You need to stop barking.
They might have the gauntlets, and we can use that against them. You know how that happens.
All right. The first one gets a 36. It's going to injure itself as it draws a yellow candy and takes 3 necrotic damage.
Oh man, he must be doing terrible now.
And the other one got a butterscotch, which gives it +1 to all skills for an hour.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello, good timing. The Whatstrix who is closest to Whatsis, since I'd been holding off on their turn until you got here, already tried to dredge anchor you and failed, but then it just charged into a melee, and it's going to attempt to use Ichor Drain on you. And it's going to make that a reckless attack. Yeah, that's a hit. And first one hits, second one misses. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gil, you take 11 piercing damage, and your Ichor beast counterpart, one of many, literally just grabs you with its one working arm and just digs its Inquisition Lance Proboscis and plasma axe teeth into your chest and starts just drinking all the Ichor it can absorb.
Okay.
However, that is the end of all the Whatstrixes. Tuco, you're up, and Lucian/Caro, you're on deck. Tuco, what would you like to do?
Alright, again, he's already yelled to warn Caro to get the fuck out of the way.
Okay.
And if she hasn't, oh well.
Any time to do so.
Literally,
Okay.
get out of the way. Does it immediately?
That's basically what happened.
Hold on.
She's
Get
throwing
back
it
in.
as she
My
says
computer
it.
decided to just shut down on me, so
Yeah, already whizzing towards her face. Look out!
dodge.
Yeah, just fucking dodge it.
Dodge
Yeah,
the
just do it. It's not that
explosion.
hard.
Yeah, I mean, Deborah could do it. Probably. But yeah, probably Deborah
Okay.
could probably dodge it. Well, I'm assuming what you're probably about to do.
Yeah.
All right, so Tuco, you're just gonna run up to the wall so you can see them and just do the thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going. I would say he would throw it. You know where that brown splat is between the two of them. He's gonna try and
This
aim
here?
for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, easily done. Okay. So you actually don't have to do anything yet. So you're gonna use Flaming Spear.
Sure.
Okay. So that's an action, and they have to make a dex save. Let me see what the range on that is. Okay, it'll hit those two. Yep, it'll hit those two. Okay.
What's his dex?
Well. All right, they both succeed the save. However, they will still take half. So roll 2d6, the cube dice. You're going to roll that twice, and then just tell me the total you rolled, and whatever you got, they're going to take half that in fire damage.
Only 2d6?
The spell gets stronger. It's meant to be one of those damage over time kind of things.
Now there's just a spear in play, and the longer they stay in that spear, just
Yeah, basically Tuco can keep moving it around to follow them, so the fireball will literally chase them to keep burning them.
11.
All right, so I'll cut that in half, round it up, 6. Okay. Tuco, any flavor for your doing this, so that the party knows what they're looking at?
Yeah, because it would not be a spear.
Yeah. That's just mechanically what it is, but for flavor.
Yeah, no. For flavor, what he did is you watch as he mixes what looks to be a crude Molotov cocktail mixed that had sex with napalm. With the cry, he lobs it over the wall and aims it directly at the two Strixes, I guess.
The Strix is
The Strix what's? I forget.
the what? The what?
The what's? There we go.
The what the fucks?
Yeah, there we go. That's a good word for it. The what the fucks.
The Eldritch Abominations.
All right, you guys watch as Tuco scuttles up the stairs, lights a Molotov, and just chucks it over the side of the wall. And luckily, Caro, you're outside the blast radius anyway. And Tuco, you can't see the aftermath of what you did. You basically just threw it over the walls where you knew some had to be. But you do immediately hear this, this hideous gurgling as they catch fire. But Caro, you watch as they're burning. The Ichor is literally evaporating from the heat that Tuco's created, but they just don't stop. And Tuco, you can faintly make out two of the Whatstrixes call out to you as if challenging you from on the other side of the wall. Weak, 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 weak.
True. That sound like Gil or what's it now?
Yeah, the reason Kara wasn't his because they're on an elevated platform, right?
Well, also the Molotov just didn't have that big of a blast radius.
Yeah, no, because I was under the assumption it was a bigger one, because I asked you specifically.
Well, that is the biggest blast you can make at this level, but you can make bigger ones later.
Okay.
I believe so. Anyway, all right, Tuco, you can also you can take a bonus action to either coat a piece of ammo or weapon in poison, or dash, disengage, or hide.
Dash?
He would take it to coat another weapon in poison.
Yeah, and then they're part road.
Yeah, specifically that fucking underling poison.
Okay. Which weapon are you coding, just so I know?
I don't.
You coded one of your crossbow bolts last time. You still have some more ammo. You could also code the boomerang, your sling.
Boomerang, yeah.
Yep. Okay, sure.
Boomerang.
All right. And Tuco, whenever you hear that challenge, you become a little concerned and start dousing your boomerang in the best poison that Brood Slitherite can offer. And the boomerang begins to give off this like awful odor as you coat it in this bright yellow venom.
Yeah. Claiming my shit's weak. Fucking horse shit.
Lucian and Caro, you're up together. Caleb, you're on deck.
You want to go
Lucian,
first, Carol?
Caro. Lucian, Caro.
Caro, you here?
I'm here. Can you?
Yeah, you and Lucian are up. Lucian says you can go first if you want.
Yeah, I said sure.
Okay, all right, so
Caro.
what do you want to do? And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put a fire token on the field just for Tuco's Molotov.
So which one is closest to me?
The one that's point blank to your left.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
It's
Well,
right
I'm gonna
there.
shoot it in the face with my plasma crossbow.
All right.
Have the
Or
thing
try
that
to, anyways.
makes it where you don't get disadvantage.
Yep. Crossbow expert, baby. All right.
Maybe you
Rolling
could put that
on
one like in the middle of
thing.
the squares.
Whoops! I accidentally put the wrong one.
Oh no, yeah, I'm just like checking the size of Tuco's thing real quick.
No! How could you?
I'll say right there. All right, how'd you do, Caro?
I don't know, 11
All right.
total.
Both attacks.
No, that was the first one. Let me try again.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do your do your
Ooh,
second one.
28 for the second one.
That'll be a hit. Roll for damage.
You gotta imagine if Gil's AC
Oh.
was so high that he's like, that's not a hit.
Wait. Before. Oh no, never mind. That doesn't apply here. Never mind. Continue.
Okay, that was 6 damage.
All right.
6 whole damage.
And because it's your plasma crossbow, resistance does not matter. Okay.
The rest
Okay,
is
okay.
Not resistant to radiant damage.
No. Since radiant damage was just used on it, no.
Yeah, like he doesn't have that feature as a barbarian where he just gets immunity to, or resistance to everything.
Yeah, I think it's everything except psychic, right?
Yeah, which then you can pick a class that just do.
Yeah, you can take another class that gives you resistance to psychic. Anyway. Caro, as the Ichor beast takes form next to you and jabs you with its weaponry, you just whip out your plasma gun and fire, and the beast like sloshes to the right to dodge you in a very scarily agile motion, but it immediately goes into this like almost feral posture and like hunches its back. And those of you behind the walls can see this now as the Whatshis takes on this hunched, almost feral form, and Caro just starts barking at you, weak, 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 and then you immediately just clack it in the head properly this time.
Motherfucker's too busy trying to laugh at you.
Yep, this thing is 50% Whatshis.
Oh my god. So yes, it is a moron.
Yeah, it's half Whatshis and half owl. Anything else on your turn, Carol? Remember that Garrow can still do stuff.
Turn
I still
next,
love
right?
candy.
Yeah, it's going to be Lucian and then Caleb. In the game or in chat?
What?
In the game.
Yes, yeah, everyone's like in the same area, so yeah, they can hear you.
No, is she near me? Not can she hear me?
Oh, yeah, she's 15 feet behind you, but down the walls.
Okay. I'm going to have Garrow go over to her. He's gonna jump.
Yeah, climbing speed, easily done.
And and help her, so she'll get advantage.
Okay. I will say though, Caro, this may give the Whatstrix an attack of opportunity. Are you okay with that?
Reaction.
They do a lot of damage. Poor Garrow has no health.
If anything happens to Garo, I promise I will heal him. That cat is not dying on Lucian's watch.
Caro take
Well, it's
damage.
more of a matter of if he could stay into the fight.
Did Caro
How
take?
far away can you
Did
cast?
Garrow take damage from something?
No,
Yeah.
No,
but
he could. Actually, I need to. 1 second.
What did Garrow take damage from?
Oh, no, sorry. They sound the same. I thought you said Caro. No, Garo hasn't been damaged yet. It's just the Whatstrixes do a lot of damage. That's what Caro's worried about.
I'll have Garrow head down there. Sorry, I was looking at his stats real quick.
Okay. All right. So Whatstrix is going to take an attack of opportunity with their fangs. Does a 14 hit?
1 moment.
No?
I'm saying 1 moment. Sorry.
Okay.
No, actually.
Okay. The Whatstrix lunges at Garrow, who just like almost kicks it and like claws into its face, and it and like claws at its face in pain as Garrow just bounds down the walls, and Lucian strides up alongside you with this like stoic, battle-ready look. That the end of your turn, Carol?
Yes.
All right, Lucian, you're up. Caleb on deck.
I'm gonna turn to Garo and I'm gonna say, "You're such a good kitty." Is there a way up this wall? Is there like?
Yeah, you can take the stairs. That's where Sundragon went.
That's so funny. Just take the stairs.
I'm gonna fucking take the stairs. Oh, you know
Gotta be
what?
pragmatic about this.
Yeah, I'll take the stairs.
Okay. 30 feet of movement. You're right next to Tuco.
Okay, and then let me see the.
You know, side note, while you're deciding what to do, Tuco, something funny I thought you'd find amusing. Technically speaking, what's up? Technically speaking, you and Lucian went the same like direction and distance, but because Lucian's taller than you and has longer legs, they were able to cover a little bit more ground than you.
That's funny.
Okay, for some reason the stream is not pulling up for me, but I do.
Might be bad internet.
Yeah, it might be.
So what would you like to do? You're right next to Tuco.
Okay, so I would like to do. Is there room if I call forth my spirits? Would it hit several creatures?
The most you could hit at is the spirit guardians are centered on you, or is it on a radius you choose?
It's on a radius I choose. I think. Let me double check the spell.
the one that like makes a
By the
circle.
way,
around
Matthew,
you?
What's up?
do we have line of sight up the
You'll-
wall?
You'll have to get on the wall, but yes, once you're on the wall, you have line of sight.
Because you said we could see it.
Well, because Tuco had to get. You can see that one. Yes. Sorry, I thought you meant like the rest of them. Yeah, you can see the one attacking Caro just from where you are.
Would that be like a tough shot?
No,
that
it's
gives you disadvantage?
it's centered on me, so that would not work.
Do you have magic missile?
I do have magic missile.
What do you have prepared?
I do have it prepared.
I'm still cracking up that they ate candy.
I know. I'm still laughing at that too.
I mean, yeah, that could be like they make wish. What would Ichor be wish for?
Believe it or not, I actually I had an answer prepared for that the moment I knew they got the bag.
Oh no.
You know, well, they'll just wish for more Ichor beasts. It's mosquitoes all the way
I'm
down.
gonna go ahead and do magic missile.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If none of them get wish before this fight's over, I'll just tell you what they would have wished for if they got the chance.
All right.
They wish for a human body. They wish to be normal.
Did you
Assuming
hear
this
me at
fight
all?
doesn't
Hello?
end with us, having to run away or something.
Well, I mean, even if you run away.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, Lucian, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do magic missile.
All right.
Let's see. I'll do it at 4th level, so that means I get 3, right?
Magic missile at 3rd level. That's 2nd. 3rd level. Where are you, magic missile? Come on. There you are. you get
One more dart.
yeah, one more dart per level, so you get 5.
Okay. That's 120 feet. I wish that I could see the fucking stream. Okay. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Okay.
Maybe you should attack the one beating Caro down because you're closest to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit those 2. You said I have 5, right?
Yes.
So, and then there's a third one over there by Zephyr. How far is that? Could you measure it for me?
Oh no, this was
65
way further.
feet.
Oh no, this was,
Okay, yeah.
we're off the map. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you basically the 2 on the walls and the one attacking Caro, and what's going to be the division of the missiles.
I'm gonna do 2 on the one near Caro, and then I think I got 1 more.
Well, you have 2 on the walls and Kara. You have 2 more. It's only 3.
And then
No, because they said 2 on the one attacking Caro, 1 on both of the ones on the walls. So that's 4, so they have 1 left.
And then no. I was gonna do 2 on Caro, 2 on Zephyr, and then 1 on the other one on the wall.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Can you reach me?
It looks like they can.
Yes, I can. So they're 1d4 each, right?
Yeah, 1d4 plus 1.
All right. So the first one is 4.
Okay.
Just
Another
barely
4?
reach.
Oh my god! I keep rolling 4.
Okay, 4,
5.
5.
And then is that all? Oh, how many more?
That's 3. I have 2 more.
Well, wait. Who are you hitting with each of these attacks, though?
Well, I'm taking care of that myself to avoid overcomplicating it.
That's 5.
Okay, so
And 5 again. Wow,
Alright, so
I'm gonna
4.
keep this guy.
all right, 4, 4, 5, 5, and
Caleb, see her splitting these.
yes, but
Spreading her damage out thin.
yes, but let's finish the turn before the scolding starts. Lucien, you have 1 more dart. Roll a d4.
Oh. And another 4.
All right.
Jeez, this is a good dice. I'm gonna keep this one right here.
I'm gonna keep it right here. That way everyone can see it. Okay. All right. That the end of your turn, Lucien?
I think I have a bonus action that I can do. I think. Let me look at my.
Yeah, no, nothing you can do right now after you cast that.
I think all my features are actions.
Okay. All right. Caleb, you're up. What's on deck? And Caleb, to answer your question, yes. While you can't see who exactly is being hit, you can see 2 darts pummel into the one attacking Caro, and then 3 others just kind of sail over the walls, and from the looks of it, homing in on something you can't see.
And Caleb is going to just say to the others, if these things are even half as tough as Gil is, we need to be focusing them down one by one, rather than trying to take them all out at once. We're spreading our damage too thin.
I'll just yell, I'm not a tactician, I'm just trying to get rid of these things!
And
I'm going to immediately focus on the one attacking Caro.
all right, and Caleb, as you aim at it, you can see the Ichor beast is staring over at Tuco and Lucien, and like especially whenever Lucien starts yelling. And Lucien, as you're like yelling in distress towards Caleb, you can see the Ichor beast looking at you, almost completely ignoring Caro, who's in an active melee with it, and just starts.
Matthew, are you going to consider shooting it from where I am now with difficult, like disadvantage?
Not to give you disadvantage. See why it would be.
Okay. I don't know if it was like one of those things where you can only get like a glimpse of it or something.
Oh no. Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, that'd be cover, if anything, but yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's on the wrong side of the wall for cover to matter. So.
Alright, we gotta roll pretty dang good here to hit Gil, probably.
He's high, but not crazy high as you're imagining.
+8, here we go. That's unacceptable. I'm going to use a luck point.
Yeah, okay, luck point to reroll.
Love that. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, just don't do
Alright,
what
so
we did
this is
last
going
time.
to be a 22.
That's a miss.
You're chicken shitting me. Austin, you filthy fucking liar, saying his
23.
AC's not high.
Yeah, not
It's
that high.
above 20.
Yeah,
That's
and-
ridiculously high.
Like
You literally
Zephyr's.
can't
If
hit
they
that
use
without
as
a
a reactor, you can add
modifier.
a D8.
I was like, you say that Zephyr can reach
Okay,
20
we can't
easy.
miss. We have to do damage to this thing. I'm using another luck point.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Do it again.
At least I fucking.
We couldn't hear you.
6.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
I was like, yeah, you were one off.
Austin, I will say, if it helps, remember, this thing doesn't have Whatshis' stats 1-to-1 because you have to account for the Strix's blood in there as well.
I kind of assume they're not gonna, like, unless they're, like, combining their AC somehow.
Okay, so it's within 5 feet of a.
Yeah, so sneak attack easily applies.
It's not looking at me. Is it surprised?
It is not surprised, I'm afraid.
You can't blame me for trying.
No, that's fair. No, it is not surprised, but you do get sneak attack.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think this. I know there's other places or the other classes that have, like, are they this?
Surprised.
I'm surprised.
Let me do.
I also
Yeah, it's
fucking
gonna
love
take
that you gave him my laugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna get away from this one when I can.
All right. While Caleb's rolling damage, we'll go ahead and.
Hang on, I'm getting to my sneak attack now.
But Whatshis, you're on deck, so go ahead and start just figuring out what you want to do. And Zephyr, you'll be going after Whatshis.
There it is. It was too far away to reach. I had to use my foot to grab it.
The millennials dilemma.
Ingenuity, baby.
Yeah. This is how we became the apex predators, baby.
Yeah, no. What are toes if not extra hands?
Yeah, I use my toes to pick up things all the time.
When I was a kid, I used to try and learn how to play video games with my toes, so I could play player 1 and player 2 in competitive games.
Alright, that's
The
gonna be-
lonely kid's dilemma.
Glorious and adorable.
That's gotta be 30 damage.
All right. 30 damage. Caleb, you kind of aim your shot, and it kind of jukes to the left. You recenter your aim, jukes to the right, and you're getting frustrated. It won't sit still, but then it turns its eyes to Lucian again, and it starts to almost crawl past Caro towards her. And Lucian, you and Tuco and Caro, of course, can all hear the beast as it crawls towards Lucian, just pretty.
Oh,
And-
awesome.
And Caleb, that gives you the opening you need. The Strix, distracted by Whatshis' inner lust, is distracted enough for you to land a shot. And Ichor splatters all over the walls as you laser right through its head. A shot that would be instantly fatal for a lesser creature, but it just plants its weaponry hands into the ground and starts reforming its head. And as its head reforms, it turns to look at you, and as per the norm, weak.
And while it's like crawling to me and being absolutely fucking terrifying, could I just scream for Aggie?
Yes, you can. That's a free action.
Aggie, it's so creepy!
Caleb
That-
was just like, I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this. We might need to just survive long enough for the army to finish with their fighting.
Why do you think I'm calling Agnes? I mean, she's really strong, and she said that she would be here.
At the end of your turn, Caleb?
I mean, I think
Alright.
that's all I can do, right?
I mean, unless you want a cunning action.
What's cunning action?
The dash, disengage, and hide thing.
Yeah, but the stairs are kind of jam-packed right now.
Alright. In that case, Whatshis, you're up. Zephyr on deck.
Okay, so how many of these are still left?
All
At the moment,
5 that we're fighting.
Yeah. You guys are fighting 5, and Queen Sundragon and her militia are fighting, and the guards are fighting the other 5. So currently, all are still standing.
Okay, so the one that's right next to me,
Yes.
I'm going to pull out my ionic axe.
And hack it to
And-
pieces.
I'm going to rage, and then I'm going to attack it twice.
Okay. Roll to hit.
-2.
That is theoretically possible if you have a really bad modifier.
I had a player in one of my campaigns, not one of mine that I DM'd, but like one of the ones I was a player in, who got a -3 on a persuasion check.
Wow.
Because they're
What was their penalty for going negative?
basically they failed so miserably that we became like wanted criminals in the city.
Fuck's sake.
To be fair, I was already a serial killer in that campaign anyway, so
Okay, so
Is that the one with the guy that you hated?
No.
yes.
Oh,
No, yeah, that was, remember?
I remember the -3 though.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it later. It's not important right now. So what'd you get?
the first one is a 26.
That's a hit.
The second is a natural 20.
That's a hit. Roll for damage. Yeah, see, whenever Austin was like talking to me behind the scenes, obviously I didn't spoil anything, but just while you're rolling for damage, while he didn't spoil anything, or I didn't spoil anything, Austin pointed out that the only thing that might make this fight winnable is the fact that I get to use his stats, but not his dice.
So the first one is 17 damage.
Okay.
My dice are really good today too. I gotta keep this.
Your dice are terrible on Monday.
You know, my dice.
Wow.
This. I'm rolling the same dice I did yesterday, and it's rolling good today.
Yeah.
Those dice are
25 on the
too.
second.
All right.
I did that, and then I got a natural 1. So.
Yeah, no, like, funny side note before I flavor the damage, just, I obviously didn't do it, so don't panic, but I will say there was a serious few hours while I was designing this creature's stat sheet. There was a legitimate few minutes where I actually considered giving it a feature where, to reference Jeremy and Amanda's dice, I was just going to have them automatically crit on every other attack.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Honestly, Matthew, I actually would have just left the game.
You could just.
Anyway, but I didn't do that,
I
so.
think we would both know that that would not have been a fair fight at all.
Yeah, no, I ran literally 15 versions of this fight myself to make sure it was winnable. You guys you can do this. I believe in you. Anyway, Gil, you consider briefly trying to talk the creatures down. They are half you, after all. But then again, they are half you. And you pull your ionic axis free, rage, and just start slicing into it as you burn and disintegrate the Ichor, just wailing, like tearing chunks of Ichor out of it with your axes in this windmill slice motion. And you're just forced to ignore that rather than screaming, it just laughs at you. Weak, weak, weak!
Can't be weak. You're me and I'm you.
I'm
If you're beating,
stronger!
Oh
Doubt
god.
it. Beat me first and then say that.
Oh god, don't say that.
It licks its plasma fangs and goes in for another bite. But we'll come back to that. That's the end of your turn, Whatshis?
It is.
Zephyr, you're up.
For another bite in 6 seconds.
I'm you, but hornier.
Well, I mean, I want to get away from this this man over here. So
Yeah, this big boy.
yeah.
I think you can disengage to not get
No.
an opportunity attack, right?
Actually, I'm going to attack it. I'm gonna give my little whisper and swing at it.
All right, Zephyr,
No
pull.
sneak attack.
Well, I mean, he can still attack without getting sneak attack.
Yeah, like there's
gonna take a while.
a reason why I'm doing this.
Yeah, he's got a plan. He's got this. All right, Zephyr, you pull out your bladed Kevlar parasol and go in for a stab.
Got a 25.
That will hit. Roll for damage.
Is it AC 25?
I don't know. So
22 didn't hit, 25,
7.
26 did hit.
All right, 7 damage.
7 piercing, yeah, which he didn't rage, so...
Yeah, so you're fine. And even if he did, Whisper's, it's not, while it's flavor, it is technically a magic weapon, so that still wouldn't matter anyway.
Wait, does the rage only count against non-magical?
When it comes to monsters, yeah, the idea is that, because magic weapons just automatically overcome resistances.
Monster.
Anyways, so you manage to land a hit. You jab it in the side with your parasol, and it doesn't even bother calling it weak. It just looks down, almost in confusion.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, that was simply a distraction to just book it. I'm walking. I'm booking it away. I'm going to dash because fuck its reach all the way. I'm trying to think how far away I can get because I still have my boots active, so my speed would be 90. So 120. Well, no, it's 180 feet away I can get.
Jesus Christ.
Let's go take this thing on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, like Karo's in this like intense melee. Tuco and Lucian are like hucking spells and chemicals over the walls. Gil's in a fucking like brawl with his. And Zephyr's just like
I can outrun him, so why not?
Speed.
I'm going to pick where I want to go.
Life is a high.
All right, well, so I'll just say, is the movement the last thing you're going to do on your turn?
He's going to use his bonus action to dash, so yes.
Okay, so yeah, just because I know you like to have time to chart your movement, I'll go ahead and move through the other ones' turn, because they're likely not going to stop what they're doing to go after you.
I'll go about right here.
All right, thank you. Zephyr, as the Strix looks down in confusion as you stab it with your umbrella, you just run, and it's so caught off guard and confused that it doesn't even like lunge to attack you, and you just like leapfrog and duck your way under the militia who are currently in their own intense brawl with the things. Zephyr, as you're running, you can see like a barbarian like dig dual axes into the one of the Ichor beast's legs, only for it to jab them with the Inquisition lance nose and literally hold it up over its head so the person's blood will flow into its mouth. You watch one barbarian crawl away and actually briefly put a hand on your leg to try and get you to stop and help him, but you just like pull your leg away and keep running, and he gets dragged screaming back by the Strix, which digs into his spine with ionic fangs, as the Ichor beasts just start laying waste to the militia.
How's the Sundragon holding up?
Yeah, since we're about to go back to the top of the round, I'm going to mention that. The militia is really struggling. These things took them by surprise. They were already beat up and wounded by the Strixes, and these things are tough. But as it looks like the militia is just going to get slaughtered, two things happen in rapid succession. Firstly, Queen Sundragon, she doesn't even bother with any pretext of strategy or defense. Her people are in danger, and by the gods, she's going to step in. And she jumps over the wall. The Ichor beast below, like, kind of reaching out to try and grab her, and she just ignores them completely. And with dragonfire blades, charges into the fray in the militia camp. And you can see blasts of hot fire emerge in the sky, illuminating the entire moonlit battlefield with the golden fire of her father. And the second thing that happens is Tuco, Lucian, and Caleb as well, you hear a bunch of charging boots in the sand, and turning over to look, you see that tour guide who had been helping you with an entire squad of riflemen at his back. And he kind of waves over his shoulder for all the guards to run up past Tuco and Lucian. All hands, protect the walls! The city is under attack! And the riflemen on the wall with you, Caro, just immediately start firing into the militia camp, just shooting to take out anything that drips ink. They're
just completely ignoring the one that's like right next to them on the wall.
As I see all of these people, can I shout to them, "Don't let them touch you"?
Yeah, I'll allow that. The man kind of gives you a very firm, serious nod, and that's what walls are for, miss. You stay up here where it's safe. And
I realize one of them is on your wall.
he looks and sees Caro just like blasting holes into it, and it's still nursing the wound you gave it. And I think you and your friends got that one. We need to keep more of them from getting over.
We need them to keep them from sucking other people's blood, or there's going to be multiple. Multiply if we don't do it.
He kind of...
We don't fail at killing this one, otherwise the city's screwed.
You can see the guardsman kind of stop and think, and he looks out, and the queen is just too deep in her barbarian rage to give orders. And he thinks...
I need you to look at me, please. Understand. We know these types of creatures. We fight them all the time. Trust me.
He hesitates, looks out to the slaughter happening in the base camp that he technically has the power to try and mollify a bit. And with a deep sigh of what is likely already forming regret, he yells to the riflemen on the walls, "Push it back over! Don't let any of them on the walls!"
Okay.
Those gates stay closed or it's your asses on the line!
And don't let them touch you!
All right, top of the round. The Strixes are up. Tuco, you will be just after them, so if you want to figure out what you want to do, go ahead and start thinking. Also, I'll say, Tuco, since I know you're still getting used to your abilities and spells and whatnot, so I'm just going to tell you that the Molotov you just threw, as your bonus action, you can move it up to 30 feet in any direction, and if you ram it into somebody, it'll do extra damage, although that will stop its movement right then and there.
I was wanting him to walk it through all of them, like basically doing what, if he can, try and like at least make it go through the bodies of each one of them.
You won't be able to hit all of them, but you can basically have it keep ricocheting between the two you've already hit, which...
he's gonna do that.
Okay, all right, perfect. So we'll do that on your turn then. So just wanted to make sure you knew what you were going to do. All right. The Strix is the one fighting you, Gil, is going to rage, and it's going to reckless attack. However, something else unexpected happens. All of you see this. Some of you see it in the one fighting Caro on the walls. Zephyr, you see it in the one you stabbed as you look over its shoulder to see it still stalking through the sands and battle after you. And Gil, you see it on the one you just injured. The ichor around the wounds turns a bright, bubbling red, and the wounds begin to seal.
Oh, they have an inherent healing factor. Great.
Gil, your opponent...
They have Gil's health.
More, actually, because remember, it's only half Gil.
You said this is possible, right?
Yep, I checked 15 times.
Yeah.
Remember the mantra, trust the DM.
We all love it when the enemy heals itself.
Yeah, but
It's our favorite.
you gotta use that one spell that prevents them from healing.
All right. Whatshis? Your opponent, reckless attacking and raging, is going to launch himself at you.
So when he does, I'm using my reaction
Okay.
to roll a d8 to up my armor class.
All right. Roll your d8.
So that's another 8. That was my armor class at 31.
Okay. Let's see. What attacks is it's going to do? It's going to use the Inquisition Lance.
I mean, they can do that, right? Use their reaction to do that.
Yep. That's a nat 20. Just barely a miss. That would have hit if it wasn't for your spell.
Thank God.
I think I've done it.
And also just barely a miss because of your spell. Whatshis? It launches itself at you, and it tries to bite into you, but you manage to pull back and force it away from you. It stabs its proboscis lance into you, but you manage to force it down into the sand like you had done with the robot serpent before. But it gives you a horrifying grin, and immediately, in this motion that actually replicates your situation, pulls back and stabs its nose into you in a motion so quick you don't have time to block, as it stabs its proboscis directly into your stomach. You take 15 piercing damage.
Is that half?
Yeah. I forget because I know in some games, like, critting doesn't... I don't believe that's the case in 5th edition. All right, so yeah, half, that'll be 7, so you take 7 piercing, and... 12 necrotic.
Is that halved?
He doesn't have necrotic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing from... although... I think the Barbarian's actually a unique exception that it can resist magic attacks too. Otherwise, the resistance wouldn't have mattered anyway. And it's going to use Infectious Fury. Whatshis? Make me a Wisdom save.
It's a higher level than me?
It's only half you. It's half Strix too.
And you said Wisdom?
Yeah, Wisdom save.
19? No. Say it's a dirty 20.
All right, you managed to resist the Infectious Fury.
After that, is it done?
Yeah, that's that's it for it.
So I'm gonna look at it, and then I'm gonna say, weak.
I like how he got you perfectly. Yeah,
he hit you with a crit.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's just like that they're exactly like you.
Yeah, I ain't hear no bell.
All right.
Returning the favor.
Caro, the one attacking you, is going to rage. And it's going to use Ichor Drain on you.
Uh-oh.
However, it won't be reckless attacking this time.
What is reckless attack?
They get advantage on all their attacks, but then all melee attacks made against it also get advantage.
The all attacks? Or was just that one attack?
No, I got it on its stat sheet right here. At the start of its turn, advantage on all melee attacks during its turn, but attack rolls against it have advantage until the start of its next turn.
Whatever.
All right. Caro, does a 15 hit?
No.
Okay. Second attack. That's a hit. Caro, as on the second go around, the Inquisition Lance manages to find purchase. You take 15 piercing.
Ooh, ouch.
Get back.
Go ahead. And 14 necrotic.
Christ, Gil, if Carol lives through this, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, honestly, whenever I was writing up the monster sheets and stuff, I was like, man, the party's gonna be pissed at Whatshis for this one.
How much damage was it total?
14 necrotic and 15 piercing.
Not really.
I was like,
Okay. I'm gonna say this is one of those situations where even if the situation you are in currently wasn't your fault, remember that if you had gotten your way, it would have been literally infinitely worse.
Yeah.
You probably would have ended a life on this continent.
Basically, it's not your fault in the same way that it wouldn't be your fault if the world ended right now, even if technically you could have prevented it. Alright. That is it for the one attacking Caro.
If I take over the
judgeable.
continent with these guys,
Yeah, because clearly they listen to you.
the Scar Concord loses. So it's a win-win.
I mean, I guess.
You haven't tried.
Yeah, what use would they have for literally infinite test subjects?
Yeah.
Caro, make me a wisdom save.
One moment.
No. Carol. Let me see if I can do something.
20, but
Alright.
nah, it's dirty 20.
Yeah, that's fine. You succeed. All right, you're fine. That's the end of that one's turn. Zephyr, the one that's kind of got beef with you now, is going to fly again. And is that where you are, or how much further are you if you're off the map?
That's where I am.
Okay. It's going to... I know what it's going to do. 40 feet to get to you.
Wait, no. Well, it should be more.
It was you were 90 feet off the map, so it was an additional 40, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so it still has the movement speed to do this, although genuinely thanks for pointing that out, because what he was gonna do was try to dredge anchor you, and if he succeeded, he was gonna fly up in the air with you and drop you.
Well, dredge anchor, it's an instant grapple.
It's an instant grapple, but then he can try and, like, grab you and just start flying. Anyway, he is still going to dredge anchor you, but you've avoided a much more dangerous scenario, so thank you for pointing that out. Roll me a strength save.
I thought I was further.
Yeah, I thought he was just gonna go flat 180 feet from where he was.
Well, I didn't want to go too far from the battle, but I was like, I thought I was much further from him, so duly noted. Basically, I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah, just keep running. Just keep running.
Yeah, strength save. Yeah, I figured 3.
Okay. You get pulled towards him by the dredge anchor, and he's going to attacking you. He's going to Ichor drain you. That's a miss. Yeah, that's a hit. Zephyr, you take 10 piercing damage, and the Strix is now attached to you.
I think he's got to use an action to detach it, right?
Yeah, or risk it sucking up his blood, and depending on how the Ichor interacts with his blood, potentially getting stronger. Speaking of, Zephyr, wisdom save.
Also, yeah, I'm gonna use cunning action because
All right.
Wisdom save. Not 15.
All right, that's a 15 total.
Yes.
Okay. There is no other thing within range. Okay. You also... Let me find the right dice here. You also take 17 psychic damage.
Well, wait. Hold on.
Hold on.
What is he doing to me? I'm curious. I'm curious about the thought process. Did he just do the 2 bonus actions?
No. Infectious Fury is just natural while they're raging.
Oh, is it? I thought it was... Oh, yeah. I thought that was a bonus
All right,
action.
I'm back.
Hello. Zephyr realized that he underestimated how fast Whatshis was.
Yeah, I just thought I was further away. That's the problem.
Well, now you know. So yeah, it has you grappled, and it is currently drinking Zephyr's blood. So if it doesn't get pulled off of him, which he can pull it off of him, but if he doesn't pull it off of him or kill it, it's going to drink more Ichor, and who knows what will happen.
Oh, but yeah, like, I'm not killing it.
Like, pretty much has
Oh,
to
God.
remove it on his
How
next
far
turn.
away is it from me?
From you, 65 feet.
Ooh, I can do something on my turn.
All right. The 2 who are attacking the walls, given that they don't see any obvious enemies near them, and they're not really in the mindset to... they're just going to keep hammering away at the walls. However, the walls hold firm against them, although the troops are looking scared. They are also both going to pop additional candies. They're just basically, they're literally just beating their anchors against the stone with one hand and eating Ichor candy out of their stomachs with the other. It's horrifying.
Point out to those guards that there's 2 of them, some of them are trying to break down the walls they're supposed to be defending.
They probably see that, feel it, and hear it.
Yeah, Caleb, the tour guide who had been giving the orders, looks down to you, and he doesn't even say anything. He just gestures to Lucian and to the guards who are currently occupied trying to push the one that's already on the walls off, as they had already been bitched at to do.
It's like, when you're done with that,
He just gives you a nod and goes back to what he's doing. All right, that's a 87 and a 32.
if they're trying to push it off the walls, doesn't that mean they're touching it?
Lucian gave the orders.
He told them not to touch
I
it.
told them not to touch
Well, they can't get it off the walls and also not touch it, and they're wearing hazmat suits anyway.
Guns!
Absolutely can.
Yeah, they have hazmat suits anyway.
Well, shit. Why don't you have them over there?
Touching it's not the problem. Well, at least as far as we know, we haven't seen touching it being a problem.
I mean, it's better than saying don't let them suck you off.
I mean, even
Which
then,
is not
suck
something
you
that
off.
would...
Let 'em suck you real good.
Don't let them suck you.
So wait, why aren't they there?
What? Why aren't who where?
We had backup. Where the fuck are they?
They're occupying literally half of the attacking enemies. The ones you guys are fighting are just the ones they can't also deal with right now.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you guys are fighting a fight at half the difficulty that Whatshis almost put you into.
If there had been 10 of these, Caleb wouldn't have even tried. He would have just ran.
Yeah, just nope, fuck it, I'm out.
It's an unwinnable fight. We're gonna have to find a new strategy to fight the Concord. Because we're gonna lose the Sundragon option.
All right. The one slapping itself against the wall there takes additional necrotic damage from the candy it ate, and the other one, Caro, you get this kind of weird, almost pheromonal sense of the air, and as you turn, you see one of the ones that's banging its anchor against it and just eating candy with its free hand, in a puff of almost black smoke, has turned into a Lovelander. Frog person, for those unfamiliar with the setting.
Oh no!
Caro scrunches up her her little face and starts to puff out her throat.
Just that inner frog thing of just like. And because neither of them moved from their spot, Tuco, your Molotov does a nice little thing here. Hang on, I'm trying to where it's noted. If it ends its turn, it has to make an additional save and take more damage. So they're both, because they didn't move, going to make dex saves. One succeeds, one fails. So you're going to roll 2d6 again, and just again give me the total. One of them is going to take the full, one of them is going to take half.
Woo! 12!
Nice! All right.
Do they get any pluses for that?
No, but because it's a spell, it's the fact that it's guaranteed damage.
I guess against high AC, it's a bigger deal.
Oh, absolutely it is. All right.
Against a low AC enemy, I know it wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Tuco, you can hear, and with no small amount of delight, that the once confident laughter of the Whatsises turns into some actually pained screaming as the one who turned into a Lovelander, their skin is now so, like, weak to heat that it's, like, panicking and, like, feeling the heat a lot more than it expected, and the other one is just fucking laughing at him. As it appears, Whatsis has no sympathy even for himself.
No, boy.
Fucking bugger.
Dude,
You can just see him as he readies his boomerang for for the other one.
And to answer your question, Caleb, not mechanically, but they are. That's why Kara has to soak in water every so often. If it's too hot, they'll suffer a lot more from extreme heat than other creatures will. Basically, they overheat quicker.
Heal has no self-love.
I'll see.
No self-love!
And
Being angry, I just imagine that squeaking frog.
Yeah,
okay.
desert rain frog.
That is the
Sound of a
that is the
very angry
that is the sound of a very angry frog. That is the end of the Strix's turn. Tuco, you're up. Caro on deck.
All right, Tuco. He already was riding that boomerang, and he's like, "Call my inventions weak, will you?" All right. And you can see him get ready to line up the shot before we get back. Is the stream still going?
Yeah.
I do not see it.
Oh, Austin. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the live stream. Austin, your stream of the map went down.
Yeah, I see that.
Although I'll just say for the record, do you want to just move onto like the ramparts of the walls to do this?
I mean, what difference does it make?
You'll be able to see them a bit easier and have cover.
Okay.
All right. Tuco, as you pull yourself away from the stairs as the riflemen run past you and start trying to get the Ichor beast off the wall and shoot at the ones immediately provoking it, you run up to the ramparts and peek over, and you can see the monsters just literally basically bathing in your Molotov fire, but basically acting as if it doesn't concern them in the slightest. Although the one now turned into a Lovelander is shrieking in pain, it's not hindering their attack at all. However, you are definitely starting to damage them. Tuco, what would you like to do?
He would line up his boomerang to like hit them both, and if he can try and hook it around to get the one by Caro, he will. But if not, then he's just going to try and go for the two.
I'll tell you what, if you want, you can use your Molotov, the like movement thing I mentioned, to hit the ones on the wall, and then you can use your poisoned boomerang to hit the one attacking Caro.
Then yeah, he'll do that.
Okay, so first your action, roll to hit with the boomerang. You have D20, and you add a +7 to this.
Yep. Um, 18 plus 7, that's 25, right?
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yep, and that's hit. That's a hit. So you're going to roll 1d4, the little pyramid one, add a 3, and because of the poison you doused on this, you can create a special poison. Can you tell me what it does, game? All right, DC 14 con save.
I land on the side. I guess it says 431. What is that?
Whichever one's on the top.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 3 is on the top. So 3.
Right. 3 plus 3, so you did 6 bludgeoning. Okay, just a second. Let me note that down. Bludgeoning. And because of your poison, all right, it succeeds the save against the poison, unfortunately. However, you do still manage to hit it. Tuco, you hold your steaming, hissing boomerang over and just throw it, and Caro, the now bright yellow coated in poison boomerang, swirls around you and impacts into the side of the Ichor beast's skull as it goes reeling and hissing away. And Tuco, you kind of look down over the ramparts at the one still in your Molotov fire, and you're a very talented chemist. You know by heart which way those flames are going to move. A process that seems completely chaotic to an outsider is nothing but as predictable as tic-tac-toe to you. In other words, what do you do with your flaming sphere?
Yeah, he would just have it be going back and forth between.
Yeah, so you're going to have to do that ricochet thing? That's awesome. All right, awesome. Okay. If you ram the spear into a creature, it makes the saving throw, but it stops moving, so makes the save, which it fails. So roll 2d6 again, and it's going to take some extra damage.
Roll 2d6? What do you mean by that?
The cube. You're going to roll the cube twice. The one that gave you 12 earlier.
Okay.
So yeah, just roll the cube twice and then add up what you get, and you do that much damage.
Okay.
Three and 6, 9.
So 9 damage, which because it failed to save is not halved. Awesome job. All right. Tuco, your Molotov continues to just sizzle and burn at the Ichor beasts, and you take a sense of satisfaction out of it as the flames give a kind of like that little crackle and burst that fire does, and even the one that's not a Lovelander actually does visibly recoil a bit before resettling. And that's everything that you can do right now. So, but you do have some reactions. So if anything else happens to you, I'll come back around. So that's the end of your turn, and unless you want to move anywhere. So, Caro, you're up. Lucian on deck.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
So there's one right in front of me, but ooh. Are any of them like really close together?
The two that Tuco is burning with his Molotov. Can you see the stream?
Let me open it real quick.
Yeah, they're not too far from you, but they're not like point blank, and if that matters.
I do just love the random bear pelt on the ground.
Yeah, it's Sundragon, so they carted along a lot of their like furs and stuff.
Yeah, it gets cold.
Yeah. Desert and all.
That's one sandy bear pelt.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just keep shooting at the one right next to me because I'm sick of it being in my way.
Why don't you move?
No.
The problem is you can't get away from them anyway, so.
Yeah, they're so fast. And really, the only reason they don't just fly over the walls is because they're not smart enough.
Why? Why are all the dogs barking today?
All right. Carol, roll to hit.
I wish we could see like their health bars.
25 for 1.
Probably don't want to see that.
Yeah, it'd be demoralizing.
No, I fucking want to.
But that's
Like
not
that
a thing in
fight with
D&D.
Senator Armstrong, where like his
Okay.
health bar is dropping by like 1%.
First one was 25. The second one was like 16.
All right, first one hits, second one misses.
Ouchies. Okay, one
Hey,
sec.
Jacob would get it.
I mean, I got it. I just didn't have anything to add.
That's 8 damage.
All right, nice.
I'm also gonna have Garrow come up the stairs.
All right. How much? I believe that 40, right?
Yes.
Okay. They come up the stairs.
Oh no, his speed is 50, his climb is 40.
Okay, so he can go over here. All right. Tuco, you can see the tiger that Caro commands so effortlessly just run up the walls behind the rifleman and charge past you back towards its master as Caro just keeps emptying plasma bolts at point blank into the thing. Anything else for you, Caro?
Nope.
Oh, Caro, have you been poisoning your weapons?
I have not. I've been forgetting to do that. My bad.
Here. Since it's on your turn, I'll go ahead and throw you a bone. I believe you've hit him successfully twice, so I'll go ahead and make 2 con saves. Fails one, succeeds the other. So go ahead and roll for the poison damage. Because since you can just do that on every attack, I don't mind like throwing you a bone, especially since just forget. Don't forget you have ranger spells as well.
Yeah, that's what I was planning to do with the 2 close together, but
Like, I didn't realize Ivan had ranger spells until I can't use them.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be able to use them after this chapter.
I mean, yeah, you could totally. I thought.
that's 7 damage.
Maybe.
You could,
7 poison damage, I should say.
Awesome.
yeah, you could. Dude. But
7 poison.
you could easily word it as story-wise as like this magic unlocks some of that potential.
Okay. That the end of your turn, Carol?
Yes.
Okay. Lucian, you're up. Caleb on deck.
Oh, fuck my life. Okay. Oh god, I'm going to regret this. I'm going to run and how far of a drop is it from the wall to the ground?
The walls are about 30 feet high.
I'm gonna fucking superhero land.
I mean, you have Featherfall.
Well,
Yeah, just fucking
Actually,
ruin your
very
fucking
bad
ankles,
for your
man.
Not using a spell slot, Matthew. I'm gonna
Yeah, fair.
superhero land.
spell slot and the spell.
All right.
That's not good for your knees. Did you not watch Deadpool?
Yeah, they gotta do superhero landing.
All right, Lucian, you take 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, that's fine.
Tuco, you watch as Lucian, just as she had given the order to stay on the walls, don't get near them, dives over the side and superhero landing. But Lucian, as soon as you hit the sand, which is way more unyielding than you expected, you basically accidentally did a real life version of that Scrooge McDuck gag where someone else tries to dive into the gold because they thought it would be like liquid for them too, but it wasn't, and you ended up just like busting up your legs.
It's fine. I'm fine. How much more movement do I have? Let's see.
None.
Okay.
Caleb cannot believe what he is seeing.
Alright, Matthew. I'm going to ask you a question that I never thought I would ask.
Mhm.
How many dead people are around me?
At this point, the battle has again been going very poorly for the militia. The arrival of the Queen has served to bolster them a little bit, but at this point, they're not around you. They're across the field from you, but you can see that there are currently about 7 soldiers laying dead, with more joining them every second.
Okay, are there any 10 feet away from me?
Not right now. You'll have to get closer to that area with the bear pelt to do that.
Okay.
But you still have an action. You can dash if you just want to get there quicker.
I'm gonna go with plan A in that case. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to cast. Where did it go? I just had it. Beacon of Hope.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab my amulet, and I'm just gonna say, "Hare Shiva, be with me, please." And I'm gonna choose. I get 5 people, right?
Yep. Any number of creatures within range, which is 30 feet from you. Yeah, any number within range. So you can hit Tuco and Garo, as well as... no, that's it. You can hit Tuco and Garo.
Ah, fuck.
What are you trying to do?
She's using a spell where she can basically pray to her god, who will then protect everyone within a certain distance of her. But she's
actually gives them advantage on wisdom saving throws. I will not be doing that. I will use my action to move.
All right. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kind of like go into the middle of the battlefield. Just kind of. Hello.
No, yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. I heard rip and I was like.
No, yeah. That's understandable. No worries, you're fine.
Yeah. Also, yeah, it's like if you can help, just makes it to where like you get advantage, or I think you get advantage on wisdom saving throws and maximum healing.
I was gonna do Beacon of Hope, but I have to get in range. I can only do like 2 people. If I could get in the range of more people, that would be more useful.
And also, Lucian, as you run past, you can see the Lovelander, Strix, and the still Elven one burning in Tuco's Molotov juice. Stop to look at you, and you can see them both smile to each other and then to you and start crawling in your direction. Pretty. And one of them swings out to you with their elongated glaive finger. However, as he does so, he swings a little wide in his desperation to grab you and ends up like swinging into his buddy. And the two of them start just fighting amongst themselves like animals.
That's probably said rip.
Okay, they can fight each other. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you have 2 gills literally fighting over you.
I'll be like, hey look, I'm the distraction.
I feel like Lucian didn't
I keep
think...
forgetting, is Gil her brother or not?
No, they're not. They're not related at all.
Okay, thank God.
I mean,
You honestly thought Matthew would write something like that?
Actually, the thing.
I mean, that's not really up to Matt to.
No. To be fair, they would still have to present it to me, where I would then be like, "Yeah, no, we're not streaming that."
Who cares?
I think Tuco's just confused because Lucian didn't mention she has a brother.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So yeah, Lucian, the opportunity attack misses. Is that the end of your turn?
Who cares?
Oh no, I can do a bonus action actually.
All right. What's your bonus action?
I didn't do magic this time.
Austin, your mic.
Oh.
That was me.
This is like the most improvised turn ever.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, we're down to like plan F at this point.
Yeah, no, spiritual weapon.
Okay, where do you put it?
Let me look. It goes 60 feet, so I can go. I'm gonna beat it up. I'm gonna beat it up. Go to the one over there by Zephyr and beat it up.
Okay.
The creature, not Zephyr.
Here, I don't feel like trawling through all the tokens trying to find. What's your spiritual weapon, by the way?
Okay. I don't think we've seen it in a while.
You've done it before, but I just I forgot. That's on me.
Yeah, no, it's actually like a scepter, like a queen would use. It's a scepter.
Okay. So summoning your spiritual scepter. Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. It's like a scepter, but like it kind of has like the same look as like a pike.
Okay. Here, I'll put this knife token on the field.
What do you have? A knife!
All right, and yeah,
Honestly, I love it, Matthew.
thank you.
Lucy,
All right,
no.
well within range. Roll to hit with your spiritual weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna beat it up. It will go down in history of beating up. Where's my plus for this?
Rolling that one, it clubs Zephyr instead.
I like how other than Caleb,
Lucy,
Carol has been
yes.
left to fight this Pokemon all by themselves.
Let's see. 25, because I rolled a 17.
All right, 25 to hit. That hits. Roll damage.
What is I'm gonna plus 4.
And Caleb, you'll be up after this, so yeah, go ahead and plot out your turn.
That would be
I
8
have line of
force
sight from there,
damage.
Matthew.
Okay. And what's up?
Would I be able to hit it from there?
Oh yeah, easily. There's nothing like.
Not blocking it.
No, you would have to be even if they were like, it would have to be different circumstances for it to block your line of sight completely, which it's not. So you're fine. All right, 8 bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Zephyr, as you're being strangled and literally drained almost vampirically by the Strix, you manage to out of the corner of your eye see Lucian sprinting across the sand, hobbling on their injured knees, and say a desperate, rapid, improvised prayer to their gods, and a spiritual scepter takes form over your attacker and boink, clubs it over the head. And you can see the Strix's eyes kind of cross.
I'll be like, hey!
That turn was pure chaos.
Hey, it worked though.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Caleb, you're up. What's his on deck?
Alright. Caleb is going to bonus action dash.
All right, you sprint up the walls to help your allies. Running up the stairs, around the curb of the ramparts, down the wall, past Tuco, past Garrow. You bring your rifle to bear.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
Let me. That's gonna be a 27.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Alright. Let us begin the damage rolling.
All right.
First things first.
Yeah.
3d8.
Yeah, you go ahead and sort that out. In the meantime, what are you going to do? Since you're like across the battlefield, it's fine if we resolve them simultaneously.
Okay, so I'm going to look at other me that I'm fighting.
You like the icons I set up for them, by the way?
Yeah. It works very well. But I'm going to look at him. And I'm going to say, why are we even fighting? There are better ways to solve this.
They kind of lick their chops and kind of almost tilt their head at you. And there's a moment of pause, almost as if the creature's genuinely considering it, but it sinks its weaponry into your shoulder as Ichor bleeds down from both of you into the sand, as the ground around you is literally just getting stained black by ink, as it gives you a plasma-toothed smile, and didn't get these through peace.
Also, that's 31 damage.
Thank you. Nice shot.
But there are other locations where you could feed.
What?
He's trying to pull them toward. He's trying to convince them to fight the Concord, I think.
Oh my god.
Where you can feed and grow.
We don't want them to do that, though.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
triple disadvantage.
A motherfucking pigeon. Oh my god.
24.
No.
The creature kind of like roils and hisses and kind of like gags and vomits ichor between you, and as it wipes at its face, which is a task of futility given that its whole face is liquid, and as it does so, it starts kind of pulling at its plasma teeth and gurgles and growls out. And then you kill us all.
I will lower my weapons.
You do realize that these things have only one compulsion, which is to eat and consume. There is no option but to kill them, or they will kill us first.
No, he's actually right this time.
This time,
Well, sorry.
I will lower my weapons, and I will say,
Go.
Lucian, shut up. This is not a good fight. This is my area of expertise.
Stealing blood.
But if you and your brothers help us, not only will we give you plenty of blood, but we can also send y'all to a location where y'all can be in peace and still get blood when y'all need it.
You realize if they suck any more blood, then more will, like, appear, right? Like Ichor beast?
That the end of your turn, Whatshis?
Yes, I'm using my turn to converse.
Okay. Zephyr, you're up, and then it'll be the top of the round. Okay. All right, yeah. So I'll just say you're 180 degrees south. Zephyr, you can, over the chaos of the screaming and burning and shouting and fire and violence, you can make out a screaming argument happening, like Tuco and Kale and Lucian on the walls, or rather Tuco and Caleb on the walls, Lucian in the center of the chaos, and Whatshis halfway across the battlefield. Just this shouting match happening as you guys are like screaming over soldiers' heads to bark at each other. As Zephyr, you acknowledge there's no way you're taking Whatshis in a head-on fight, especially not one beefed up on Strix blood, whatever that effect that's had on him. You pull their proboscis free before they can get any taste of your blood, and just run. Did you disengage? Okay. Noted. Yeah, thank you. Very important I know these things. All right. Does a 18 hit? Okay. Zephyr, as you just start booking it, they pull back with their glaive arm and go to impale you with it, and you just hold up Whisper as it sticks into the Kevlar of the umbrella, and you just twist it to the side and just start running like a combative Mary Poppins. It is now the Strix's turn.
Could I just say Lucian's just like, hey, I'm over here?
No, yeah, you've already gotten some of their attention. However, something else also has their attention right now. Whatshis, the one that you've entered this sort of dialogue with, kind of like lowers its head and stares at you. And how long?
How long will you be helping us? Or how long till you can get more blood?
Both.
Few days, as far as getting new blood. As far as how long? So we win our fights. And then you're free to go to a safer area where you can multiply and do as you wish.
The creature licks at its plasma chops. And a little known fact about Strixes. Strixes are actually very smart animals.
Exactly, that's what I'm counting on right now.
If they're smart, then they'll realize that it doesn't add up.
Oh, but it does.
There's literally no way they can coexist. Until they decide that they don't need us anymore.
We shall see, we shall see.
The creature kind of pulls back into a puddle of its own ichor and smiles at you. We are 10 times stronger. Our numbers grow and expand. If you betray us, we will feast on your blood first.
You already have. You wouldn't be how you are.
Nothing wrong with a second helping.
I'm going to say right now, Caleb will actually leave this party if we go forward with this plan. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes, but we're not going to win this fight. These things are way stronger. So Gil will hold out a hand and see if the other Gil, well, Whatshis takes.
Tuco, as your Molotov burns away at the creatures on the wall who are now have their attention fixed on Lucian. Caleb, as you and Carol pump laser and plasma shot into the Ichor beast that just will not go down, and the guards start getting into position to just start like clubbing it with their rifles and force it over the wall and just start focusing on keeping them out of the city. You all hear a new sound echo across the field. Whatshis, you watch as the creature ahead of you reaches into its stomach, pulls free a bunch of colorful, almost pebbles, and drops them into the sand. And reeling back its head as ichor and goo trail everywhere. Free candy! And every Ichor beast immediately just perks their head up and just abandons the battle completely as they all start charging towards the food.
I'm glad to see you think so highly of me, Matthew.
Am I wrong?
No.
You've been sitting there for like the past week, just popping those things like Tic Tacs.
As I said, you're not wrong.
Not to mention, remember, yeah, like to give me some credit, you are kind of really, really into those candies.
Yeah, you wanna. Sounds like you wanna die.
You all watch incredulously as Ichor Beast after Ichor Beast just runs like bounding like animals towards Whatshis. And Whatshis you watch as with a small amount of concern as they just start like horking the candies down obsessively, including the very one who had ripped them from his stomach. And Lucian, you and Tuco and Kara with the best view of the battlefield right now can see that among the barbarian camp, who they're all like kind of equally confused and like debating whether they should charge in and do something, you can see several of the barbarians who have also been converted and infected just kind of vaguely trailing behind the what Strix is, almost flocking to them like leaders as they crawl, leaving puddles of ichor in the sand towards their superior counterparts.
That's actually what I was going to. No, actually, I was thinking that. I think nuking them is a good idea.
Gathering them in a spot and just surround them and kill them all.
That's what I was actually trying to do, was get them in one spot. Like,
Whatshis doesn't have the power to stop you guys. Feel free.
all right.
He still has his weapons down.
Each individual one has 192 health.
Oh god.
Not that.
The one who's on the lowest health right now was the one fighting Kara, which is down to 95.
Okay.
I wish y'all would just trust me. Like, this is my area of expertise.
If they spread, they will kill everything.
I'm assuming this is all in
No, they will
character.
kill what I tell them to kill.
There is no coexisting with these things.
Besides, we can coexist. What's the real difference? If they can stabilize, they'll be just like us.
Are they in one spot? Can I look at the stream?
Yes, all of them, including the what I'm going to call the feral infected, are gathered in one spot, appearing to be feasting on the candy.
Since they're busy, I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay, on yourself for the healies or on them for the damage?
For them for the damage.
Okay.
Oh my
A self for the Heelys?
To die.
However,
Just that we order them into a spot and surround them with this army and just start and just lay into them with like ranged weapons.
trust the DM. I got you guys. Just take my hand. You'll be okay.
I'm gonna do it at first level, DM.
What's that, Lucian?
I'm gonna do it at 5th level.
Okay. However, I am going to point something out for flavor that might influence your decision. Do you want to hear it first, or do you want to cast the spell first and then see what happens? Lucian, as you can see Caleb kind of looking frantically around, like as if sort of an "Are we really doing this?" expression, and the whole party is again across the battlefield in a screaming match. Lucian, you watch as, and Whatshis, you can see. I mean, all of you can, but I'm just pointing out those who are closest. All of you can see. You thought the Ichor Beasts were feeding on the candy, but at some point that stopped being the case. You watch as the Ichor beasts begin to eat each other. Strixes are intelligent, yes, but it is important to remember they are still animals. Whatshis, you watch as your various duplicates begin to tear each other apart. One rips the arm off another and just starts draining the Ichor from the socket. Another one jabs their Inquisition Lance Proboscis into another and drains it dry. And one by one, the Ichor beasts, both Feral and you, start picking each other off. And you notice with every consumption, the survivors get bigger as they absorb more and more Ichor.
One big Ichor
Oh,
kill,
God,
or
and
Ichor Whatshis.
One big one. Alright, I'm gonna
Boss
hold,
fight.
I'm gonna hold that fifth level spell. I'm gonna wait until it's done. And then
Whatshis, you can't be sure anymore if it's still the one you spoke to or not. And really, at this point, whether it is or not kinda doesn't matter.
I mean, yep, it's just it's way big.
The creature gets bigger and bigger and bigger as the survivors continue to tear each other to pieces. As it appears, the ferals do not distinguish. They simply consume. Whether it's some intentional decision on their part or not, you watch as one of them, which you suspect may be the one you negotiated with, smiles to you and rips the head off of the final feral, which was once a Sundragon soldier, now infected. With the collective souls of 10 Strixes, 10 Whatsises, and 50 dead soldiers, the Ichor beast has grown to a massive size that actually is able to easily, if it wanted to, it could just climb over the walls as easy as one would climb into bed. And it turns its attention toward the city. And with massive, wet, squelchy, tar-like steps, begins to crawl its way towards the city walls.
I want to activate my boots.
Yeah, Lucian, since you were preparing Spirit Guardians, you can go ahead and cast it. I'll roll the saving throw. And what are you doing?
I'm going to activate my boots, and I want to fly up in front of his face and say, "We had a deal, not the city."
All right. They succeed the save, so I believe they'll take half damage, Lucian.
Second there.
Just the fucking what the fuck?
Well, at least if we have to fight this one, the army has literally no excuse but to get involved.
Yeah, yeah.
hang on, I'm doing math.
You can add up how much health it has. Keep in mind it has 50 additional bits of health.
Yeah, no, I'm tracking it. I actually planned for this scenario and printed up an entirely different sheet for this situation.
It probably has over 3,000 health.
About 3,000. I'm thinking at least 2,000.
The icon.
Yeah, did you just see it?
I mean, like, what's the average health of, just a common soldier?
Well, bear in mind, the Sundragon soldiers actually use different stats. Obviously, I'm not
going to consider this a baseline.
Mm. Yeah, and Lucian, necrotic damage? Put that in text, please.
Okay. Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Okay, I had to move stuff around. 41 necrotic damage.
All right, since they succeeded the save, that'll be halved.
Movement
They
is
won't
cut.
even notice.
Okay. And Whatshis, whether just preparing or you don't know, Lucian immediately launches a spell at the Ichor beast. And as it continues to just stomp its way toward the city and you fly in front of it to try and reason with it, you watch as its eyes look to you, and then another eye opens. And another, and another, and another, and another. The Whatshis and Strix combination was struggling to hold it together. What you were doing, Whatshis, to really put this in perspective, you were negotiating with something that is passing as an elf but isn't. You can't reason with something that doesn't think. It's replicating speech without understanding the context of what it's saying or what it means.
Yeah.
And with the addition of 50 new, likely equally incompatible souls,
Yeah, that's the problem with compatibility.
it is now completely feral.
Oh god.
Hey, they were just like, okay, everyone shoot everything at that.
The tour guide just gives a silent nod. Open fire! And Sundragon, without even a word to her troops, just like runs across the sand and just twirls her size, ready to. And she seems excited to get to fight something this big.
I'll look to the guy and be like, do y'all have any, cannons, maybe?
He gives a nod and ready to fireworks.
I guess that'll work.
That worked.
Yeah, fireworks are an actual siege weapon.
At least we condensed them down into one spot.
Where are we in the initiative?
Top of the round, actually.
Okay.
He gets his turn immediately.
Yep.
Come on, shouldn't he have to use an action to combine?
Well, Whatshis wasn't attacking him, and Lucian was holding their action. Speaking of, Lucian, make me a strength save.
Oh, he's done worse.
Yeah, to be fair, this wouldn't be my first time destroying a city with Ichor beasts. Not even my second, for that matter. Although the other one was off screen, to be fair.
19.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
That's
That's a success. Lucian,
Oh, thank god.
the core form of the Ichor beast has not changed. Whether that's because the Sundragon soldiers are still humanoid enough to integrate smoothly, you don't know. But one thing you do notice, the one thing that has changed is, rather than just being ionic fangs, the head of the Ichor beast has become almost draconic, and rather than fangs, the ionic axe blades are like a Haxorus-style ring around its head of just glowing plasma.
Watch out for its head.
And Lucian, as you give a warning to watch out for its head, which glows and you can literally see the air around it simmering with the heat from the plasma. It looks down to you, almost just more instinctually drawn to the sound of your voice, and swings its massive anchor the size of a building down to you, and you just barely manage to roll out of the way as it kicks up a smoke screen of sandstorm as sand and mud go everywhere from the impact. Some of it stained with ichor, some of it stained with blood, both yours, and some of it weirdly stained with mayonnaise.
Ugh.
He's
I'm
like,
gonna be
heads
standing
up.
sand in my head.
Honestly, that is the mayonnaise on the cake right there.
I hope this is mayonnaise.
And Lucian, you watch as it kind of looks to you, looks to Gil in front of it, which I'm going to go ahead and move his icon. Looks to you, looks to Gil in front of it, and then just with this like almost roll of its draconic head, it holds up.
The mayonnaise layer.
It holds up its weapon arm in almost finger gun motion, and all of you on the walls and on the field collectively realize you have not seen it use the pistol part of its arsenal yet, as it's going to fire a suppressor pistol that has been escalated to the size of a siege weapon at both of you.
No. And me?
I'm just gonna point out it probably would not be very suppressed anymore.
Oh, yeah. Lucian does a 26 hit.
I'm gonna cast shield as a reaction, so no.
Okay. Lucian, as the first barrel levels at you, you just put up a shield spell, and it's one of those like epic anime things where like the bullet that's the size of a cannonball sails out of the Ichor pistol and splatters against your shield, and you're just holding up this dome of Ichor and manage to just like basically splash it away from you before the shield disperses. And Whatshis, as you're hovering in the air, it levels its pistol at you, but before the trigger even pulls, it kind of stops. And you guys remember that the Ichor beast, the more incompatible the souls are, the more sickly the end result becomes. You watch as the beast doesn't make its second attack at all, and just like kneels over. And Tuco, you've not seen this before, but this is a familiar sight to the rest of you. Tuco, you watch as the massive Ichor beast stoops down, almost like taking a knee, and and vomits a just tidal wave of Ichor into the sand.
Oh dear God.
Watch what you eat.
And it just continues to stumble its way almost blindly towards the walls.
Are they within 5 feet of
Oh
me
no,
yet?
don't go that way! Look at me, I'm afraid to go!
Lucian, make a persuasion check.
Are they within-
What's up, Caleb?
Some things never change.
Is it dripping? I was about to say, is it dripping Ichor all over them?
Oh yeah, no. The what Strixes were already just Ichor monsters. This is basically just a massive, vaguely humanoid pool.
Persuasion check, you said?
Yes.
Okay, I got
Like a flat roll?
Yes.
very lucky.
Probably say it.
27.
Lucian, you watch as the creature kind of stops and looks at you, and actually manages to
Put on my
form. Yeah, it actually manages to form coherent words. Pretty girl, and starts kneeling down and extending a massive, dripping tar hand, and it's gonna try and grapple you.
It's
Oh, God.
gonna be like King Kong.
Just need a big tower. Folks.
I'm going to regret this. No, Lucian remembered what Sundragon told her, and she's using it.
I don't think this is what they had in mind. if Sundragon could coherently talk, to be like, this isn't what I had in mind.
This is not what I meant.
Lucian, grapple check, athletics or acrobatics, your call.
Oh, sorry.
I've already rolled for the Ichor beast.
Okay, athletics you said?
Yes.
Or acrobatics.
They're the same. Not good. How does 8 do?
Lucian, or rather, Whatshis, again, all of you on the walls can see everything. You all watch as it extends a massive arm and just picks Lucian up. And, like, just starts, like, shoving her against the, like, dripping black Ichor as Lucian, you're immediately just coated in this tar-like substance and have to avoid, like, breathing it in.
I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, look.
Pretty girl.
Yeah, pretty good.
Did Caleb hear the queen give that suggestion to Lucian?
I actually don't recall.
Yeah, you were in the room.
It was like, I don't think this is what the queen meant.
Lucian, the Ichor beast starts slapping more Ichor onto your back as it tries to pat you, and it just starts kind of mumbling incoherently to itself. Bath time, bath time, bath time.
I'm gonna scream to Caleb. Caleb, I know you don't love me, but please.
That was very real. Nice job.
What am I supposed to do? I'm not the one who cuts arms off.
Tuco, you're up. Kara on deck. Something to pull something? Or something that would help you rescue Lucian?
Whoops.
Let me see, actually.
I hope you're fine.
You could try to shrink the Ichor beast to make it easier for Lucian to escape.
Yeah, I should have just done that. Fuck. Yeah, that.
You shrink it, does it lose health?
The target size is halved, its weight is reduced, the reduction decreases its size, it has disadvantage on strength-based rolls, and the weapons shrink to match its new size, and the attacks with them deal 1d4 less damage as long as that doesn't reduce it below 1.
No, it's more dense now, that's all.
Which, you don't get much denser than being 1/50th Whatshis, so...
Yeah, you can't get much denser. Being 50% Whatshis and 50% animal.
Yeah, no, so Tuco, at this point, you can just hear him muttering shit under his breath. He's like, fine, I'll save you, Sheila, cry. Again, he reaches into his vest and pulls out, a blue sort of powder and lobs it at him.
Yeah, which, it fails to save. Tuco?
Tuco, but their name's Lucian, not Lisa. Sheila.
Yeah, I don't have time for this. Continues.
I don't have time for this.
Okay, Tuco, it's already failed to save, so you can do this. However, I will ask for you to be able to get within basically throwing distance to get this thing with your Shrinky Potion.
You know what? What if I just put the shrinky bit on the crossbow and then fire it at him?
Okay, you know what? That's not normally a mechanic, but I appreciate the creativity. And technically speaking, you do have a poisoner's kit, and you're now artificer, so all of your spells are mechanically chemicals. Sure. Make me a poisoner's kit check. This is going to be a D20, and you're going to add a plus. You have proficiency, so a +6. So D20, add 6. Because that's creative. I like that.
Hey! 18 + 6.
All right, sure. Yeah, I'll allow that. Tuco, you start, and bear in mind, that was actually one of your last spell slots. You still have other chemicals you can do, just they're your more basic ones. Tuco, you start just emptying your pockets for anything you can do to take this kaiju down before it reaches the walls. As at this point, any soldiers it kills, then it turns into Ichor beast, it just swallows them up and gets bigger. At this point, you need it to just be small enough to not just jump over the walls, basically, not step over them. And you empty all of your chemicals into a bottle, start shaking things up and mixing things, and you realize, crap, you're not within throwing distance. You're going to have to run over the side of the wall. And that fall broke Lucian's knees earlier, but then you realize, poison. And you promptly douse one of your crossbow bolts.
Break them because they were able to walk still.
Well, you know what I mean. Loads up its crossbow, levels. You level your aim and loose, and it strikes. It's this tiny little needle compared to the massive size of the creature. But if there's one thing you know, Tuco, it's engineering is strong poison. And Lucian, the creature holding you, begins to shrink.
I'm going to regret this. I'm going to put my arms around it. And that's a good boy. Yes, you stay here with the pretty girl.
Yellow's gonna be like, man, all I gotta do is turn into a monster, apparently.
Turns out being half owl makes you charming.
Apparently.
Ow!
Sorry, that was mean. I'm sorry. That it for you, Tuco?
Yeah, that one really hurt. All I can say is, ouch.
Oh wow! That's
Wow, you're a real hoot, Hunter.
that's rancid.
That's a real barn burn. That's a real barn burner, isn't it?
Okay, that wasn't clever, but that was a stretch. Carol, you're up. Lucian on deck.
I mean, isn't there an owl called a barn owl?
Well, yes, but like anyway. Carol, what do you do?
So it's smaller now?
Yes, it is now huge sized.
That's
So
enormous.
much smaller.
Hey, it went from like it went from gigantic to huge.
Still able to climb over the wall.
I'm checking actually. Because there's actually a sort of table for how big they be. But in the meantime, Carol, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Hail's Thorns on 3rd level.
Okay.
Lucian's right next to it now, technically, right?
That's fine.
And technically, no, actually. It has reach, both because of its size and because of the weapons it has. So it actually, technically, it's able to touch...
God.
Yeah, it's able to touch Lucian without being directly on her. And the creature is currently, just for those who are curious, 30 feet tall. But it was 60 earlier.
Jesus Christ.
So basically, it's at eye level with the soldiers on the wall now instead of towering over them.
I did the best I could.
No, hey, that's still impressive. You cut its size in half.
It's like staring over the wall like that.
Yeah,
Titan.
Some
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I was like Attack
And
on
on
Titan
that
shit.
day, humanity learned.
No, you just need like those weird wires so he could fly around the battlefield.
Weird wires.
We gotta attack its weak point in its neck.
Back on its neck.
Yeah, so Kara, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna shoot it with the...
Plasma crossbow?
No, Hail of Thorns.
Oh, well, you still make an attack. It's just Hail of Thorns applies on top of that. So I'll
Well,
go
it's
in.
a save.
Yeah, okay, so save, which it fails, although you do still have to hit with your attack to land it for the record.
Mm-hmm.
But it fails the save, so if you hit, then you're good.
Hit it. You can do it, Kara. I believe in you. And I was like,
I'm
I believe in
confused.
you, Kara.
Don't saves, do you...
What?
What's up?
Since it's a spell, doesn't it hit anyways?
No.
No.
Hail of Thorns, you make your attack, and if the attack hits, then the spell kicks
Okay.
in.
That's
Yeah,
what
the-
I'm confused, sorry.
Yeah, so you
brain
still
is
have
not
to hit it.
processing well.
Yeah, you still have to hit it, but then if you hit it, the spell will kick in.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
One moment.
Yeah, roll to hit.
I believe in you, Kara.
23.
That's a miss.
Motherfucker.
His AC is somewhere between 24 and 27.
Well, you also have to now count for it. It just got bigger and just
No,
all
I think
that.
his AC is 24 because I think I hit him with a 25.
Well, yeah, but again, it could not be higher than that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so sorry, Kara, that's a miss.
Fine, I'll shoot again.
Yeah, shoot it again! Alright, roll to hit.
Hail of Thorns, level 2 this time. Piece of shit.
Sorry.
It hits this time.
Well, was what you?
For the record, by the way, you don't have to use an extra Hail of Thorns.
Yeah, it's active. It's
Yeah,
active
the next time you
Okay.
hit a creature. So, yeah,
Okay,
so yeah, you're good. Alright,
What
so,
did you get this time?
I got
Carol?
like... Wait, I'm gonna have to count again because my brain totally just...
well, yeah, okay, is it 24 or higher?
Yes.
Alright, you're fine. Alright, Caro, you load an explosive bolt into your plasma crossbow and fire, and it strikes it in the stomach, but it just doesn't even stop, doesn't flinch. So you just load up another one, this time aiming a little higher. Maybe a shot to the head will at least distract it. And pulling the trigger, it whizzes through the air and in a shrapnel explosion impacts against the side of its head. It does fail the save, so it'll take the full damage from both. Do you apply your poison to this as well?
Yes. Perish, please.
It does succeed the con save against the poison, I'm afraid.
Damn you.
Yeah, not even Tuco's fucking poisons could kill it, and Tuco's poisons are something like they're the worst.
Yeah, I remember.
See, imagine if it's from like that one group of the rats, it's probably actually just shit smeared on an arrow.
He did mention he has a brother who's a scourge priest. What's up?
So this takes up like my action. Like it doesn't add the plasma crossbow itself, right? It's just the spell.
Yeah, it's the spell and then the damage from the crossbow on top of that.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Yeah.
So yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
Your poison.
Yeah, you do lots of damage. You're a good ranger.
Thank
31
you.
damage.
Oh, never mind.
All right, nice.
Nice.
Caro, that hit hurt it, and as it recoils, it's so huge at this point, even after Tuco shrieking it, that rather than the kind of like of typical Ichor beast, it lets out this like guttural like as it recoils back from the shrapnel. Is that the end of your turn, Caro?
Who's next to me, like person-wise?
Caleb, I believe. Yeah, Caleb is 15 feet from you, and Tuco is 30 feet from you.
Is Caleb going next?
Lucian goes next, and then Caleb after her.
Okay, I'm gonna have Garrow shuffle over a little bit to Caleb and have him help him.
All right.
Caleb, Garrow ahead of that.
Garrow kind of rubs their head into you. That the end of your turn, Carol?
Yes.
All right, Lucian, you're up. Grappled by the Strix.
Okay. Hey, Austin, can you put the stream back up so I can see?
The
Yes.
Whatshis dragon.
Yeah.
Because now it also has.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be up.
soldiers in
Yeah,
it.
it's up, but I haven't.
Alright. I'm going to... Fuck. Does it seem like it is distracted by me? Like, is it all of its attention on me?
It's distracted by you, but the people on the walls shooting it are certainly bothering it. But at this point, it's kind of a coin toss whether it's going to charge the walls and just give in to its desire to infect as many people as possible, or if it's going to try and take you and run. Basically, it's a matter of whether its inner Whatshis wins or the sheer amalgamation of souls.
Okay.
Basically, there's one Whatshis in there fighting against 10 owls and almost 50 militiamen for dominance of the body.
How is he looking health-wise?
He's not looking good. Caro's shot hurt, and at this point, it's durable, but with the whole militia hacking at its legs, rifles firing at it from the walls, and you can tell that firework launchers are being set up, it's not looking good.
Okay. All right. Since he has me and it's right here, I'm gonna use my last 5th level spell, and I'm gonna cast Inflict Wound.
Okay.
Definitely interesting that they changed how that works. I'm curious what the thought process there was.
What did they change?
They made it to where you can now, if you play certain classes, you don't lose spell slots kind of deal. You can't get like the spells, but you don't lose the spell slots. So technically, basically I could be a level 10 wizard and level 10 cleric, but I still have 9th level spell slots.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Anyway, so Lucian,
I'm not sure if this hits 24.
that hits exactly.
Oh my god! Thank God! Thank God!
This mockery.
Thank God. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, vicious mockery. You're stinky!
Yes, sir. 35. That's
Nice.
necrotic damage. I'm just gonna hold on to him. I'm gonna cling on to him, and I'm going to say, "Pretty girl has teeth."
And just slap him with inflict wounds.
Yeah, Lucian. Lucian, as you kind of like push the flow of Ichor from its chest off of you, still covered in the stuff, unfortunately, as it kind of looks down at the militiaman hacking at its feet and the rifleman shooting at it from the walls and lets out another guttural, throat-damaging roar, you just place a hand on its chest, say your pithy one-liner, and its upper half basically explodes. And you kind of, and you start tumbling, but almost unbidden, the ink tendrils, like, even though its upper half is literally gone and in the process of reforming, the ink is literally catching and holding you as you fall. So you're basically being held by the tendrils of ink at about its waist level as its torso starts to reform.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Alright, I'm gonna have to pull out the big guns. Okay, let's see, what else?
You still have your spiritual weapon up.
I do. I'm gonna beat it with my bat.
Give him a bop.
Roll to hit. I'm gonna give him a bop. Bop, bop, bop. 1d8 4. Okay, gotta do this first. Ah! Ooh!
You're going to have to put that in text chat while you're resolving that. Caleb, you'll be going shortly, and Whatshis after. Caleb, do you already have an idea of what you'd like to do?
I think you know what Caleb's going to do.
Bang, bang. And since Lucian is actually close enough to...
5 feet, I get sneak attack.
Yep. All right, that's a hit, Lucian. Roll for damage.
I'm going to use my last luck point.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
That would be 12 force damage.
12 force. Nice. 12 force. All right, while Caleb's... how was your to hit roll?
I got 24.
All right, so yeah, that's a hit. Go ahead and start rolling damage while you're doing that. Whatshis, you're up.
Jojo, that's you, babe.
Yeah, okay. So, seeing that this thing is pretty much nearing its last leg.
Quite literally, it's literally nothing but legs at this point.
I'm going to attack it 3 times.
All right, roll to hit.
I guess that means Caleb's probably not killing it on his turn.
Well, how much damage did you do?
Well, hang on. I'm still adding it up.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I just do the other player's rolls since, you're a rogue and an assassin at that, so your damage rolls take a hot sec, so I just go ahead and get other players' situation sorted as well.
So, 36,
hit.
35, and
hit.
36.
Hit.
2 natural 20
36
and a natural
damage.
19.
Okay. All right, noted. Thank you, Caleb.
Especially when I use the laser rifle, because that's 3d8, and then they gotta roll 5d6.
Yeah. And after Whatshis is Zephyr. I know you're like crazy far from the battle at this point, but just in case.
I might actually shoot him.
Yeah, true.
Or I can
just on the fucking horizon, just a crossbow bolt.
Oh, man. Well, I could probably hit him at least, but why would I do that? I could melee him, but why would I do that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy talk.
Melee.
He's within melee range.
I'm guessing Whatshis is still rolling damage. So in the meantime, Zephyr, what would you like to do?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm definitely not getting within melee range.
You're 190 feet from him.
190?
Yeah, because you ran 180 feet away off the map, and he is 10 feet away from the edge of the map.
Zephyr can get that epic final blow potentially.
I was right here. Right?
Okay, so I have the overall damage from all 3 attacks.
Okay.
And that is a total of 60 damage.
Okay. Zephyr?
Either way, I'm not getting within melee range. It's not a big deal. Alright, so pull up my character sheet of items.
Alright, while you're doing that, Caleb, Lucian's inflict wounds. Basically, you guys are one by one whittling down this thing's body. Duco, you shrink it down to a much more manageable and easy to deal with size. Caro, you blast its head open. Lucian, you explode its torso. And Gil, or rather, Whatshis, breaking out your ionic axes and using your hover boots, you basically become this. You start just diving down and, like, with this whirlwind of fire and plasma, shred one of its legs. And Lucian, as you're, like, dangling from its remaining leg and waistline by a few desperate tendrils of Ichor, that despite, you can literally see eyes beginning to open up on the thing's leg, as it's basically not even bothering trying to repair itself at this point. It's just trying to keep looking at you, like going into just this feral overdrive, as all roughly 70 souls in this Ichor beast are just desperately vying for some tangible grip on the humanity they lost. And Caleb, seeing Lucian dangling dangerously and like risking being sucked into the thing's leg at this point, you fire and shoot off the last bit of its waist, leaving literally just its leg as Lucian tumbles into the sand. Although from its feet, you can see more tendrils emerging, trying to reach out and grab Lucian and pull it into itself, as if the souls just desperately want to embrace Lucian in their dying moments.
Okay,
Zephyr?
can I reach out for him?
Of course.
I want to reach out for him.
Zephyr, what do you do?
You know, Zephyr's just gonna watch.
Zephyr, breaking out your crossbow and your parasol and activating your piston boots, you start as you just you 1 second you were running away from a rogue Whatshis, and the next thing you know, there's a giant one. But as you start stretching towards it, you watch as your party literally just rips the thing apart. And as it's torn to shreds, a part of you is honestly thinking it's quite likely at this point that it's already done.
That, and I'm also curious, like, what would it do with Lucian? Yeah, maybe, do something with Lucian.
Okay, now that's interesting. Zephyr, a certain amount of scientific curiosity kicks in as you start observing what could this feral Ichor beast want with Lucian. Why is it prioritizing pulling her instead of just infecting her right then and there?
That part I'm guessing is Gil's. I'm just watching what it does to Lucian, yeah.
Nice to know you care. I'm gonna reach back out.
Lucian, as you reach out and the tendrils make contact with you. Does a 28 hit?
It does. Even with my shield.
Oh yeah, well that shield's not active unless you want to cast it again.
I know, I didn't activate it, so.
Lucian, as the tendrils reach you and they start pulling you in, you initially think maybe there's some hope. Maybe there's a piece of this thing can be saved. And then an Inquisition lance shoots out of it and impales you in the chest.
I like it. I like it.
Get her, nobody can.
You take 8 piercing damage.
That's fine.
And
Yes.
Lucian does a 15 hit.
It injects Lucian as part of its blood.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Lucian, as the Inquisition lance impales your chest, your vision starts to go like hazy and unfocused. But you look down and see it's trying to drink your blood.
Oh, hell no.
And you immediately, despite the pain, despite it being medically inadvisable, tear its improvised proboscis out of you as it keeps desperately reaching out, almost with this like dripping wet Ichor tongue emerging from the point of the spear, as it desperately tries to get even a drop of your blood to add to itself.
Gross.
Tuco, you're up.
Worth the waiting.
Oh boy. What does he have left? Can he still use the just boom like?
So you can still move that Molotov fire you created if you wish, and you can also. You had flavor for all these. I just forget what they are. You can do Ray of Sickness, Healing Word, Expeditious Retreat, or Thunderclap.
What's Thunderclap?
Thunderclap is a cantrip. You'll have to be within melee range of it, so you have to like run off the walls and run up to it. But it creates a sound that's so loud that its eardrums might burst. But if you want to stay at a distance, Ray of Sickness is probably your best bet.
I'd say he would cast like Ray of Sickness.
All right, roll the d20, add 7.
Okay.
And yeah, you can easily reach it from the walls, so no worries.
All right, 15 plus 7.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. All right. Tuco, breaking out, making another batch of the poison your brother and Brood Scourge taught you. This one's a lot lighter of a vial, and you have a pretty good throwing arm at this point. You chuck it through the sky, joining this sort of like firing squad of riflemen and fireworks as the creature's remains are being incinerated and torn apart by the Sundragon army. And your sickness shatters on it, but even as it takes the sickness into itself, it doesn't even seem like it feels it.
Well, fucking hell! Oh, fucking
It's
god!
emotionally dead. From that fucking lance. That's why.
Well, he wanted to die quicker.
Caro, you're up. Lucian on deck.
Okay, it's not looking good, right?
Yeah, it looks
Real
bad.
In fact.
It's basically desperately trying to keep itself alive by any means necessary. It is more animal than person at this point. Just survival instinct and nothing else.
Well, gotta put it down sometime.
More thorn.
I'm going to shoot at it.
Roll to shoot.
Can you cast Channel Thorns again?
I believe they can.
That one did not hit.
All right.
Sorry, I have to count.
No
My
worries.
brain.
Yeah, you're fine. I know math is hard. Fail it every year.
Literally every
Oh wow, okay. That barely hit. Oof,
Okay,
ouch.
roll for damage. I'll see if the poison... the poison does not take root, I'm afraid, but everything else is fine.
Here, this
5 damage this time, but I'll get you. I'll get you one of these days.
Caro, you continue to empty plasma bolts, just running through your quiver like nothing else, as you continue to just whittle down what little is left of this thing. Lucian, you're up.
All right. Is it like on that on?
It's on death's door. Death is knocking, and it's turning the doorknob.
That's about to kick that fucking door
Basically,
down.
it was dead the moment it failed to get any of your blood into itself.
Okay.
Oh, it was Fungi.
I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on it.
All right, roll to hit at disadvantage.
It's 120 feet.
Well,
Yeah, but
with
it's
the melee
a ranged attack, and you're within melee range, and you don't have the Warcaster feat.
Oh fuck! I forgot it was ranged. Hang on.
Yeah,
I got other shit I can use.
Warcaster?
Yeah.
Warcaster is basically the mage equivalent of crossbow expert. Tuco actually has it.
Okay, instead I'm going to pray and I'm gonna call forth my spirit guardians to save me.
Okay.
So I need
if that's a nat 1, it fails the save.
Come on, it's a nat 1, double damage.
No.
Critical fail.
I do sometimes have special effects happen, but that likely won't matter here, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh.
That would be 18 damage.
Lucian, how do you want to do this?
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of look around and I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna say, I'm sorry I couldn't save you, and I'm going to call forth my spirits from the shadows and have them engulf him.
Lucian, you watch as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 50 eyes open on the remaining just amorphous pile of Ichor that begins to slowly drain. If Red and all of you are the pinnacle of the Scar Concord's research, this abomination you guys created here is the antithesis of their work. The Scar Concord are a lot of things, but they are trying to make this formula stable. You guys are their finest work. This is what happens when that science, Dr. Knight and Dr. Kaloom's research, is misused. This pile of ink straight from the soul of 50 dead men and 10 animals who were just trying to feed, and one Geogran colonel who just needs to attack and fuck everything he sees. Slowly goes insane. And Lucian, as your spirit guardians appear from its shadow and literally begin to rip it to shreds, you're not even confident it's aware of that it's dying. It just stares at you, as if it's so far gone into its inner madness. And Lucian, you kind of squint a little bit and you notice something. One of them, out of the many eyes that are open, most Ichor beasts tend to have a familiar glowing yellow, you've noticed. However, there's one eye that's different. One that glows white. And that eye kind of looks not at you, but around at the other eyes surrounding it. And even as the Ichor beast literally begins to fall apart and disappear into a puddle, the white eye begins to consume the others. And you think maybe it's just your inner priest, but you think you may be literally witnessing Whatshis' soul go down fighting, as it literally, with no ability to kill his enemy, turns his violence to anything within reach out of stubborn spite and refusal to die quietly. In the end, the Ichor beast isn't felled by an army or your combined chemistry and assassination talents and magic. What felled it, finally, was its own insatiable violence and hunger. And you realize with a shudder, you're not sure how much of that is just from by nature of it being an Ichor beast. Maybe Caleb is right, and Ichor beasts are just so inherently dangerous that they must be destroyed. Or maybe it's just the muscle memory of a Geogran colonel destroying everything that it can't conquer.
I'm gonna sink to my knees and just stare into the puddle.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Woo!
Caleb was just about to let the queen know that they're going to need to find someone else to finish off the last of the
Yeah,
ship.
no, Lucian was exactly gonna do the same thing.
We did it! We saved the city!
No, I was looking at the entire fucking time.
I mean, hey, to you guys' credit, considering there was an entire militia and an entire innocent civilian population, considering that only 45 people got infected, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, we got really lucky.
If only we could be that efficient at dealing with pandemics in real life.
Topical. All right. If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/Grahamcrackers, GRAMECRACKERZ, for my Friday campaign, The Goldshine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of investigators unraveling a cultish conspiracy that threatens to plunge their home into war. Check out our website at official-d5hub.info, resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer bringing down a kaiju. Check out our link in chat, which should be posted, to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly, and support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Almost went to the wrong time. 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions, and check out Odd Tornado Productions on YouTube to catch up on what you've missed. Check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That is 5 with a PH. Don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link's about to be posted as well. Or on Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Odd Tornado Productions. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd. TNO, they are capitalized. And for those who want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Mondays at 9:30 Central Daylight Time to catch our Monday campaign, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globe-trotting treasure hunters trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods to unlock what is either a valuable treasure, an apocalyptic curse, or the preserved body of a Second Age warlord. One of them. I think that's about it from me. So, thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.
Yay.